Welcome back to episode 306 of the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast.
Start the week slow, coffee in hand, laptop glow, got deadlines planned, but I hit play first, yeah, you know the deal. Gongshow talking about that hobby feel. From graded gems to trade night scores, meet David Pop counts and cardboard lore. It's not just stats, it's stories too, and that hobby high gets me pushing through. It's Monday on the Gongshow, let it ride. Easy vibes with the hockey guide. From mailbox hits to eBay finds, we spark your week with collector minds. Settle in, let the takes unfold. The hobby's deep and the story's gold. It's Monday on the Gongshow, press play and let the cardboard wash the blues away.
Hey boys, what's up?
Hi there. What's going on?
Nothing. Just got back into town from the worst travel day of the year in Minnesota. Coming from northern Minnesota and Lake Country back to the Twin Cities on the Sunday after the 4th of July is harrowing. That's the kindest word that I can choose. And I should know better. Number one, like only a fool drives on the Sunday after the 4th of July back to the Twin Cities. Like stayed on Monday. Yeah, this guy.
Everyone was relaxed on the highway, driving good speed.
There's one main highway that goes north and south in the state of Minnesota. It's Interstate 35. And they only do road construction during the 4th of July because the state likes to F with us and ruin our lives. And so there's always like one section where for about 10 miles, it goes to one lane every year and about an hour back up into the zipper merge in front of that. So then what I do, because I cannot stand, is I'm sitting for like the hour before you get to it on my phone plotting every sort of like county road or old Hickory Highway, scenic highway to bypass it. And I don't even care if it takes the same amount of time. I just need to be moving.
Yeah, it takes longer.
I'd rather it take 10 minutes longer if I was at least moving. I can't stand sitting still on the road.
Do you, when you have that zipper merge, most people don't know this, but a lot of people get upset at the people flying down the left or the right lane. But for that zipper merge to work properly, that's what you're supposed to do. And at the last second, you turn in. That's the zipper. It's not called the zipper unless you do that.
Two lanes.
Everybody,
2 lanes till the merge, and then every other just in.
I don't think I'd say 90% of drivers don't know that though, and they all get mad. They're shaking their fists because you're smoking past them, and you have your signal on. They're like, "I'm not letting you in. You didn't wait your turn." Well, it's not a roller coaster ride, sir.
Well, then beyond that, like this day is the biggest hornet's nest of traffic slowdowns because every third card on the road here is either pulling a fifth wheel camper or something like that, is pulling a boat or a trailer with ATVs, and inevitably about every 3 miles there's a boat pulled over where it blew a tire, and that causes a 5-minute, because I don't know if like people like got to give their opinion of how they're doing when they're changing the tire on the, even if it's like pulled like way up in the shoulder, guaranteed to cause a traffic jam the whole way. And so it's just and hopefully as I even get wiser with age, I will just take the serenity now aspect and just come to peace with it, or be smart and come back on Monday and not be an idiot and try to travel back on the Sunday after the 4th of July.
Correct.
Well, you made it. You're here.
Made it.
Time to talk about hockey cards. So that's good.
It was a 4-hour trip done in 7 hours.
Oh, almost double. Almost a 2xer, eh?
Yeah.
But look, be grateful, and I know you are. What did you have a good week?
Oh, it was amazing. Yeah, saw lots of family. Did lake stuff. Haven't done a lot of that in the last couple of years because the kids are different spot in life and been busy doing our stuff. So it was very nice to unplug a little bit. I mean, I kind of put my phone away for a few days,
Good man.
which is, I think, very healthy for everyone to do. Was able to go up and go through, all my annual traditions, like none of my ATVs working and having to bring those back to life.
Who left the key in the ignition? Who left the key in the ignition?
Well, the thing like with ATVs is they have very small batteries and they're not like the shelf life not real long, and especially when you poorly maintain them like I do. Like at every fall I should take them out of the machine, put them on a trickle charger over the winter. Do I do that? No. And so they never work, but this is the first year that we charged them and they came back to life. Usually they're just like toast and I end up going in and buying new batteries like every other year for them.
Because
So
you gave it a
that
little
was bonus.
TLC. So you gave it a little tender loving care and it responded well. It's a mutual, beautiful relationship, Josh and his ATVs.
We had pretty good weather, got out to the lake, got on the beach, on the boat, all that good stuff. So it was very, very, very fun time. Baba Louie, how was your holiday weekend?
It was good. Our weather was worse down here. Good thing you were up there being able to play. Yesterday was terrible until 5 o'clock. It just rained and crappy all day.
Oh,
Other than that,
Poopy Minnesota weather.
Other than that, just putzed around.
Philip, you went to now I want to hear about your weekend, but also you've had this long-term monogamous relationship with the Ottawa Card Show.
Oh, yeah.
And then there was recently a breakup. You took a break from each other.
Few month breaks, yeah.
And now you went back. So let's start with the Ottawa Card Show. How was it?
Well, don't you want to know about my weekend?
Okay, we can start there.
So Friday nights with Phil was great. We had Carter on.
Oh,
do you want to talk? Can we talk about that now? Yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
sure.
might as well. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. So we had Carter on. Great night Friday. He showed every Fleer card ever created by Upper Deck, so that was refreshing.
He did.
I'll have to rewatch that. So if you're a big Fleer guy or you don't know much about Fleer, I highly, Louis, I highly recommend you checking out the replay on the YouTubes on the internets of Friday Nights with Phil last Friday. Carter goes through. It's not a master class, but he pretty much addressed every Fleer car ever made, modern one. And
did you have your lights off or something?
I think it's my hands blocking the light.
Oh, funny.
Yeah. And it was just awesome. And Dave opened a lot of his mail. I opened O-Pee-Chee Platinum. I got a Kaprizov. I actually a guy at the show today. He's like, I said, it's Kaprizov. Okay, didn't know you're Russian. So apparently it's Kaprizov.
It's
I'm
not.
still saying Kaprizov. Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, every Canadian thinks it's Kaprizov, except it's not.
Yeah, Kaprizov sounds better anyways. It's easier to say as well. So I traded that for a Timbits Crosby card that we will show later for personal pickups. Hold your horses. Good listener. And so the Ottawa show today, it was half hockey cards, half TCG, and it was pretty good. It was
I thought they were splitting it. Did they not decide to do that?
So they did split it. Now there's a full TCG show, and now the second show is half hockey, half TCG. Yeah, full. The hobby's healthy. Lots of families, lots of kids. I'm still using my cane. I'm walking a little quicker, but I got there. I got a work phone call. I had to come back home, finish my work thing, and then I went back to the show. Yeah, it was lots of fun. Busy day. But the show was good.
Is the show far from your house?
About half an hour.
Oh, that's a lot of driving.
I kind of drive for a living. I mean, so on Saturday I worked all day anyway. So I mean, it's not a big deal. I don't mind driving. That's my truck is my office. I don't mind.
Sure. All right, going to make a mention for GP Sports Cards, who is the official breaking partner of this Total Gong Show of a podcast. Your next opportunity to break with GP is this upcoming Wednesday. Head to gpsportscards.com. Check out what's on tap. It's like a menu at your favorite restaurant. I'll order, maybe I feel like some cup today. Or
I love a 20-ouncer.
Yeah, there you go. Then you can head to GP Sports Cards YouTube channel, watch the breaks, have some fun following along with all the hits. Grant's been on a huge heater lately, and you might even see Phil, the chat marshal, in the chat, keeping everyone in line and banning people, muting them. What is it? You can silence people. What are your options?
I haven't figured out the moderator dashboard. I'm just don't be a jerk and you won't get banned. Just keep it simple. Yeah. You can be funny and be a jerk, but then, be nice.
Keyboard warriors.
Yeah, there's lots of them. That's okay.
Rolling through the updates on Hockey Checklist real quick. Nothing happened while I was at the cabin much on the checklist website, with the exception of I'll be fixing tonight the credentials checklist that for the next upcoming release, I believe on July 16th, because Upper Deck sent it out, and then 3 days later they said, "Oh, sorry, use this one instead." So I got to fix a whole bunch of errors on the checklist, but we'll get that sorted out.
You gonna delete the whole thing and just redo it, or do you
No, there's just I knew exactly what it was too, because on a lot of the inserts, the odds were stated like Easter eggs, and it's like, I don't think that all these are Easter eggs. And then they came out with more like there's a bobbleheads that has different levels and stuff like that.
Do they have a checklist guy or girl? Like, is one person's job just to compile the checklist from all the designers, and or is
it comes from one guy, but I don't think I think he's the conduit, where I assume it's the product managers that are in charge.
So it'd be Grant's
the boss of the product managers.
So he signs off.
Billy.
Okay, Billy. Yeah, Billy. I thought he's the janitor.
Only Billy when there's a mistake.
Right.
That's what we found out. On Discord, what's going on? Well, tomorrow, I believe, episode 8, right? We'll publish Behind the Bench, we think.
If I get one.
Okay. I think he's recording it tonight. So it'll be speaking of Easter eggs, it'll be a hobby mystery. Will we have Behind the Bench episode 8 tomorrow? Probably will. Louis spent so much of his holiday weekend tabulating the 5K challenge results, and we have to verify one thing, but we'll announce the winner to that very soon. Thank you.
What's the prize? What's the prize for that this year?
Yeah, this is coming up.
It's a box of something.
Yeah, a big hug. Louis is going to give you a big hug. Congratulations.
Yep.
Yeah, it is. It's a pretty nice box. I'll have to go back and look. Honestly, are we even prepared for the show?
Oh, I know. It's the Black Diamond. That's what it is. It's that Black Diamond.
That was for something. That was for the brat. We have a lot of contests. I mean, join our Discord for gosh sake. You can win boxes.
I'm in there. I was in there like on Tuesday last week. It was great.
That's the thing too. I laugh like when somebody wins like a box of Black Diamond or something like that. It's like, oh, that paid for like 4 years of your membership right there.
Yeah, and
we're working on it. We're putting in the time now so we can enjoy the fruits later, right?
I had to put out the SOS though. I had to ask Evan from Discord, Mad Dog.
Oh yeah,
to give me a hand a little bit on the master sheet just to tally up all the numbers, and then I went and I'm glad I woke up early on Friday, 4th of July. So I 4 hours later got everything all tabulated and figured out. So thanks to Mad Dog, otherwise that wouldn't have happened. But
yeah, I think like when Louis is at the pearly gates, if he gets sent below, let's say, I'm pretty sure he'll have to spend eternity tabulating 5K challenge.
Mine would be mailing out the winners for all these forever stuck at the post office, filling out custom forms.
And lastly, but not leastly, before we get started, a reminder that our show, the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast, is a Patreon podcast. Well, what does that mean? It means that we rely on the support and love of listeners like yourself to help us cover our show expenses, continue to produce more and what we hope to be better hockey card content, and then fund initiatives, even in a small way, to grow the hockey hobby. You can still be one of the first 299 supporters of our show. You forever get that title. You're like out of 299. And you also get access to our Discord, where you can see Behind the Bench. You can do stuff like 5K challenge. We did a playoffs bracket. I think the playoff bracket is what won the Black Diamond box. All the other fantasy hockey, and just make friends. I mean, I think that's the most important thing. And join our community there. It's very easy to do. Just go to our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com, click on the Become a Patron link at the top of the page, or go to Patreon directly, patreon.com, and search for Hockey Cards Gongshow. There's a link in the show description on YouTube, and for the good listener, on the podcast apps, and then in our Instagram and TikTok profiles as well. Baba Louie, Bobo Lubai, we have one new patron. Should we shout him out?
Crosby's card donation.
Ooh, great name.
Oh, charity. I'm a charity. You want to give to this charity. Charity starts at Phil's house.
There you go.
Oh, yeah.
Now, listen, for people that aren't in the Discord, if you're not an outgoing person, or you don't want friends, or I have enough friends, or if you collect hockey cards, even if you're a flipper or just a card bro and you don't even like hockey, but you're selling cards, man, $5 a month. You have your access to a bunch of degenerate card collectors. Like, I don't know how else to say that. You come in, like, could you imagine selling beer at the AA meet? Okay, that's a bad example, but you know what I mean. Yeah, easy pickings. That's what I'm trying to say. We're easy pickings, you know.
Part of me wants you to continue that analogy, but then the smart side of me says you probably should.
Yeah, let's not.
Right.
But just on that aspect alone, like for $5 a month, American, you could just check in every day or every week and see, like, you could just sell your cards. You can't make $5 a month selling cards. You probably shouldn't be selling cards if you can't. So insulting people now. We should probably move on.
Rude.
Louis.
All right.
What's the game plan, bud?
The game plan for this beautiful Monday is starting off with get to know your Hall of Famers. Then we're going to get into a little hobby therapy. Ought to be interesting. Then it's hobby news. Following that, we'll got a little interview with the boys building a card show, a new one with Carter and Justin. After that, it's new product releases, followed by the Gongshow Mailbag and personal pickups.
Very excited for new product releases because I'm going to do a very controversial top 5.
Yeah, you are.
Did you peek ahead, Phil, or no?
No, I never do. You can't tell. I don't even know what we're talking about. What is it? Okay.
Well, was it last show where we said something and like a minute later you had no clue?
That's every show. Come on.
Oh yeah,
it's part of the bit.
Are we ready to roll, boys?
Yeah.
Let's go.
As we always do, we'll kick off today's show with Get to Know Your Hall of Famers. It's where we're profiling every single Hockey Hall of Fame player that ever lived. We started with the OGs, the very first class in 1945, and have been working our way to present day since. So far, we made our way to the class of 1962 and have been rolling through the inductees from that year. Today's Hockey Hall of Fame player we're going to learn more about is Alf Smith. Not this Alf, though, unfortunately.
Oh, I loved Alf. Do you know what Alf stands for?
Alien life form.
Ah, fine. He eats the cats. I always liked how he tried to eat the cat. So funny.
Yeah. Well, as an Ottawa guy, though, does the name Alf Smith sound familiar to you, Phil?
No, they're on the towel on that one. Sorry there.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alfred Edward Smith lived from 1873, passing away at 80 years old in 1953. Born in Ottawa, Ontario. Passed away there, too. Lifelong Ottawoian? What do you call it?
Ottawatonian? Ottawatonian?
Ottawan?
Ottawan? I don't know.
Ottoman?
We're the Ottawa
Ottoman?
Gatineau. We're the Ottawa Gatineau region, so I don't know how you would say that.
Is Gatineau better than Ottawa? Probably.
It's a lot cheaper. I just can't go work there. That's all. Yeah.
Alf was, let's call him Phil-sized, coming in at 5'7", 165 pounds.
Oh,
No. I'm 5'9". Big difference.
Phil-sized. And in a hockey career that lasted from 1894 until 1909, Alf played for just one team. I'm sure to the disappointment of Bob Louie, he hates that. Just the Ottawa Hockey Club.
Oh, really?
Has to be one of the earliest players we profiled, though.
I feel like an idiot. I don't know who this guy is. Oh my god.
Well,
brutal.
You said it.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert: his career ended before the first hockey card set was produced. You know, the 1910 C56. So just remember that. Alf came from a hockey family. He had 6 younger brothers that all played senior level in Ottawa. Now, at the time, of course, senior level was the highest level of hockey you could play. Alf was the captain of the Ottawa Hockey Club, would also coach the team, and helped win 3 consecutive Stanley Cups in 1903, 1904, and 1905.
As a coach, right?
No, as a player coach.
Coach,
but it gets really. There's a lot of drama in Alf's hockey career that we'll get into. A lot to unpack. He was also a lacrosse and rugby player. And in 1896, this is where the first drama comes. He accepted a $100 bonus for play with the Ottawa Capitals lacrosse team and was later ruled ineligible to play amateur hockey by the Amateur Athletic Association of Canada and would not play hockey for several years. So I looked it up. $100 in 1898 is like $3,700 today. So not a small chunk of change. Back then, amateur rules were extremely strict across all sports, and accepting any form of payment, even in another sport, could cost you your amateur status in all athletic competitions.
Hmm.
So when he led I think when he led the Ottawa Hockey Club in 1903, he might have been just the coach, and then later that season was reinstated as an amateur or was reinstated before the Stanley Cup. Because the other thing you got to remember too, when the Stanley Cup was a challenge series when first played, and it was played multiple times a year, so it's not like it wasn't every June. Like they had playoffs, and you could defend the Stanley Cup 3 times in one calendar year at the time. It was
Yeah,
a little
that's
bit of the Wild West when it came to how the cup worked.
and I would love to be at a dinner party on a Friday night in Ottawa in like 1908 to hear the culture speaking about amateur and professional and how it's just so frowned upon. The perfect, like, you're making money? Like, well, yeah, I got to feed my family. Like, wow, out of the party you are. Like, like it's just such a different mindset, right?
Not to play producer for you, but maybe you could do that on Friday Night Phil, like how they do like Civil War reenactments. You could do a dinner party reenactment of 1908 Ottawa talking about amateur hockey.
I love dressing up. Have you guys ever been to the Gettysburg? They redo the thing.
No.
No.
I'd love to go check that
Is
out.
it offensive to say that those are kind of silly
What?
reenactment? I
Maybe it's because you have it a lot around you. I would love that from a
I've never seen a
historical
reenactment around. I don't know, Louis. Would you want to go to a Civil War reenactment?
Yeah, you've never been down to Northfield and seen the Jesse James thing?
No. Do you know who Jesse James is, Phil? The train robber?
Yeah, he's Brad Pitt, right? From the movie?
Yeah.
The assassination of Jesse James, the true assassination of Jesse James.
Yes. Well, that was in Northfield is 20 minutes south of us. That's where all that went down.
North Dakota?
Northfield, Minnesota.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Well, Deadwood's Dakota, right? North Dakota, Deadwood.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
How far can we take this tangent? We're gonna be talking about
Okay, yeah, keep going. Hockey.
Korean War stories pretty soon. Okay, where was I? Oh, and he was reinstated in like 1903-4 as an amateur and resumed his playing career, but now as a player coach, leading the Ottawa Hockey Club, also known as the Silver Seven, as the player coach, Phil, to victories in 1904 and 1905. But then he again lost his amateur status in 1906, this time related to his hockey career when he was accused of receiving payment from professional teams in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania. Smith was part of the wave of Canadian players lured to the U.S. by the promise of professional salaries. This was very controversial, as most Canadian leagues were still fiercely amateur. That incident happened after his first reinstatement and was part of a broader shift in hockey toward accepting professionalism. So he was right at that crossroads of amateur and on the of getting paid. By 1908, the amateur versus pro battle softened significantly in Canada as the sport embraced professionalism more broadly. Al Smith was, again, one of the most dominant two-way players of his era, known for both scoring ability and toughness. He was considered one of the roughest and toughest players of his time, playing in an era where hockey was notoriously brutal. He was known to enforce games long before the term enforcer was coined. During a Stanley Cup challenge in late 1903, Ottawa faced the Winnipeg Rowing Club.
Get it?
I love
known
it. That's
for
amazing.
their hockey. In game one, Elf knocked out Joe Hall with a stick blow to the head and later collided with Nick Bolf. B-A-W-L-F.
What nationality is that? Balf, B-A-L?
Balf.
Is that what it is?
It reminds me of Spaceballs. Like, what was the...
Barf.
Barf.
Yeah. Barf.
Both went to the hospital. Hall needed 5 stitches. Alf Smith needed 4. Winnipeg's captain called it the dirtiest game of hockey he had ever played. This match cemented Ottawa's butcher reputation and showcased Smith's willingness to mix physicality with skill. Media had dubbed the Ottawa Silver Seven the Ottawa Butchers.
Oh my
their
God.
brutal Stanley Cup campaigns.
How times have changed.
Little gangs in New York going on with the Silver Seven there.
I was born in the wrong century, man. I would excel in these environments.
Yeah. Newspapers describes stick slashing, open faces, bruised bodies, and bloody ice. One report stated ice covered with gore, brutal butchery, while another noted swordsman-like brutality masked as strenuous spectacle.
Swordsmen? What, they use their sticks like so? Remember Youngblood at the end of Youngblood? What are you doing?
Smith, who of course was a key figure on the roster, embodied this unapologetically physical style. But he was also a highly skilled player too. In the famous 1905 Stanley Cup Challenge against the Dawson City Nuggets.
Yeah, buddy.
Smith's Ottawa team trounced the visitors 23-2 in Game 2. It's one of the most lopsided games in Stanley Cup history. Shocking against a hockey powerhouse like the Dawson City Nuggets. Smith was a key figure in that championship and legendary mismatch. Is this where all the Dawson City fans send us hate messages in the comments now? Or
probably.
Yeah, be nice.
Can't please everybody. You're good. You're good.
Smith was a strong, fast skater for his era. His powerful stride allowed him to carry the puck through traffic and keep pace in the wide open, positionally loose style of the early 1900s hockey. Smith processed a hard, accurate shot, especially dangerous when closing in on the net. And although official statistics were sparse, contemporary reports frequently reference his ability to score from distance and in scrambles near the crease. Unlike some early offensive stars who played a cherry-picking style, Smith was committed to both ends of the ice. He was known to backcheck aggressively and frequently disrupted opposing rushes. He's remembered as a pioneer of early professional hockey, someone who contributed significantly to the competitive nature and physical style of the game in the pre-NHL era. And his impact as both a player and a coach helped build Ottawa's early hockey legacy and contributed to the city's reputation as a hockey stronghold. So the Hall of Fame inducted him in 1962 as a recognition of his influence during hockey's formative years.
When they played amateur games, who fit that bill? If nobody got paid, so it was free to watch the hockey.
There's some guy making money, of course, and that was probably the whole racket, right? The loudest probably proponents of amateurisms were the team owners making
exactly
tickets who didn't want to pay the players.
Right.
That's what, like with Ted Lindsay in the NHLPA, right? Everybody hated him at the time, but everybody loves him now. Right.
So looking at Alf Smith's hobby market, as you probably guessed, the only Alf Smith card I could find is from the Cardophilium sets. And this 1985 Cardophilium Smith should be available for under $5 raw, unless you're Phil and you think these are magically $100 cards.
No, I said they're about $20 to $50 each. If you can find
never seen one that expensive in card.
I've never seen one for that cheap as you say.
You're just bad at buying cards. Okay. So thank you for admitting it. Honesty is a part of this show. And you don't know how to buy cards. That's okay. You're a learner, and we're accepting of that.
I have nothing to say.
You don't, because I put you straight in a box.
Get out of here.
That, boys, is your Hockey Hall of Famer, Alf Smith.
Elf.
How many? Ottawa. It's like the Hockey Hall of Fame should be in Ottawa, for gosh sake.
I know. Toronto took it from us. Probably should be in Toronto anyways.
For all the people.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to try something new. It's the summer. It's the off season, right? And we're going to try a little hobby therapy session here. On last Monday's show, we had a great mailbag question about what's disappointing to us most in the hobby. And in my answer, I mentioned the amount of negativity sometimes gets to me at times, which, funny enough, when that clip was posted on Instagram, and people clap back at us all you want. We don't care. We put stuff out there to hear your opinions. The amount of people that thought it was disgusting that I like to be positive, I found a little bit funny and a little bit sad. And I never knew being a positive was funny.
What you called me. Yeah.
Well, our good friend of the show, Tori, had mentioned in Discord that somehow it resonated with him and shared that he's felt a little maybe burned out lately in the hobby, a victim of FOMO, keeping up with the Joneses, and some maybe general negativity surrounded by our most beloved hockey card hobby. Now, while the hobby already has many noted doctors for math and teeth, only few people know that I am the only certified hobby MD. I am. I've been out of practice for a while, but our good friend Tori needed me. And so I enlisted my eager and voluptuous nurse assistant, Phil.
Thank you.
And we sat Tori down on the Good Vibs couch for a little hobby therapy. So with that, we hope you enjoy volume 1 of Hobby Therapy with Nurse Phil and special guest Tori. We're excited and pleased to welcome friend of the show, Tori, to the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast for the very first time. Hi, Tori. How are you?
I'm wonderful. How are you, gentlemen?
Doing well. Thank you.
Doing well.
You are here because of an amazing post that you did in our Discord, which was in response to my rant. Of our last mailbag. Unhinged rant. Where I lost my mind. No, I didn't. Where I think the question was like, what is do you guys find disappointing about the hobby? What would you do to fix it? I said that sometimes the negativity in the hobby gets to me a little bit. And, and I guess you had a response to that and kind of led us to this conversation. And I want to turn it over to you because I don't want to put words in your mouth, but kind of like, how did that comment, I guess, that I made kind of resonate with you? And we'll go from there. And we're going to work this out as friends. That's our goal, right?
That sounds good. Perfect. Yeah, I think a lot of it, when I was thinking about, the message and you and I chatting back and forth, it really came down to how I got back into hockey cards. I was collecting baseball back in the 80s. It stopped. Junk wax. I thought cards were done. And all of a sudden COVID hits and my son starts breaking football with his buddy. They're home, so I'm like, what is this? Witchcraft we got going on here? Cards are back. And he's like, oh, big time. So I kind of got into breaking with him. They were breaking like retail stuff, on a couple nights a week. So I
suppose at the time when there was a lineup at Target to get any sort of product with, right?
Yeah. He would go camp out at Target. He kind of had an inside scoop on when the restock would happen. So he'd get there and buy as much as they'd let him buy and then break it. So I'd buy spots because they were new, they weren't filling spots. So I'd buy a spot for $15-$20 and got to be kind of cool. And then they started to get distribution, and instead of breaking, they started to sell their product to the breakers. So now I lost my breaking avenue, and I found another guy on Instagram who was breaking football. So I broke with him, and it was low key, a couple nights a week, $30-$40 a night, nothing big, but hockey was always my favorite. And I just, on Instagram, there was nobody breaking hockey that I could find. I wasn't looking very hard either, but at the end of the day, come along and hit a massive card with this breaker, banger sports card out of Nebraska. It was a downtown Justin Herbert rookie card. Send it to PSA, it gets a 10. I'm happy as can be. So my kid says,
hooked, line,
you should try to trade that. Yeah, exactly. I'm hooked. He says, you should try to trade that for a big hockey card. So I'm like, oh yeah, hockey. Yeah. What should I trade for? And he says, try to get a McDavid rookie. So I'm like, okay. So I go on all these forums, trying to trade. It took like a year and a half. I finally find a guy in Tampa who trades me for an RPA, 9.5 BGS RPA of McDavid. So good trade for me because
you still have it?
Not a football guy. Yeah, that's right.
Nice.
Right there.
Nice. Yeah, I keep it in my pocket.
Keep it in my pocket. Glare is bad, but so that was my first kind of back in, and then Whatnot pops up on my radar, and I'm like, oh, now I've got hockey. I've got at that time.
Now the casino comes to your house. Yeah, right.
Exactly. Exactly. And at that time, there were 3 main hockey breakers, and they all kind of went in a row. It was a guy named OG, and then Moose, and then Breezy. So I could watch hockey breaks for 4 hours a night, 5 hours a night. It was great. And then I started buying into breaks. So my whole like hobby collection process was literally driven by breaks. I didn't buy wax. I didn't go buy singles. I didn't go to shows. I was literally supplying my hobby by buying into these breaks, and it got out of control. I mean, quickly out of control, where it wasn't $30 or $40 twice a week. It was, $100 five times a night. And so I think, the long story short, the negativity was more about me than the breaking industry. Breaks are going to happen. I love watching them. I love seeing cards get pulled, but I let it get out of control. That was my fault for doing it. And it's kind of just the Bedard tax, and watching it get even more out of control for other people is kind of what drove me to post, what I did, and respond the way I did. So
yeah. And I guess like your response, just to summarize, and you correct me if I'm wrong, was that you've been kind of down on the hobby, and you've, taken a step back, and, it's just that, and that you're kind of at a crossroads, maybe, and which is why I wanted to have this conversation. I want to dig back into the breaks a little bit more. And, so here's my opinion, first of all, on, you're right, you're an adult, and you choose where to tap the buy button or not.
Yep.
But just like social media, it's engineered to play on every weakness that we have.
Totally.
Right. So you're playing a rigged game to begin with, and platforms like Whatnot are, and I'm not singling them out. It's every social media network. Instagram does this, is that they know how to fire those dopamine receptors in you. And so they hire psychologists from Stanford, typically, and to engineer their software to make it almost indefensible from our weaknesses perspective. So it's not, I don't think it's a matter of a strong person versus a weak person. It's very easy to get sucked into. So when you were at the point, maybe at your peak, it sounds like, when you're spending
right
$100 to $500 a night, I'm just kind of curious at that, because I've never done breaks at that level. Like,
cool, it's exciting.
How close would you cut, like, at the end of the month, like, if you look back at what you spent versus what you now have, was it even close to break even? Or, I mean, or how would you calculate the ROI on that when you were, or what
not very good. I mean, it wasn't, I wasn't, 10%. I was probably 50%.
Okay.
Because I did also, flip the cards that I didn't want, and do well enough to make it not as painful, keep the cards I wanted, flip what I didn't. So I kind of figured the cards I kept were the other 50%. That was just my cost to buy the cards. It's kind of how I justified it in essence. But I didn't go nuts to the sense where, like, I knew there were times when I'd hit the button and I go, oh crap, that's the wife's going to say something here pretty soon. So
no, Tori, that's not good.
No, and I'm not, I see some of these guys breaking, now $1,000 to $3,000, $4,000, $5,000 a night. Like that, I wasn't anywhere near that. So I kind of feel better that it didn't get that far out of control. But the ROI is definitely not there for breaks. It's a fun
entertainment
thing to do.
Yeah.
Gets the hit,
But Tori, I don't find there's any, I just blanket the thought in my head, or the statement. There's no ROI on anything. Like, the best ROI on something is buying a single, waiting, and then leaving it up to the hockey gods.
Yep.
That's
very
it.
true. Very true.
That's it. And you're such a sports guy. Like, you are such a sports person. You're not, I mean, we've met each other quite a few times and had great talks. You're not a money hungry man. I mean, we all want money.
No.
So,
well, yeah, of course. Yeah.
No, I know, but the breaks, it's the thrill, right? It gets your juices going. And
it's the community, like, you're BSing with your buddies for 3-4 hours. It's kind of like, and like your guys' shows, like the Thursday night and the Friday night, like, that's replaced that, because that's the community now. Like, I can go and BS with people, so it's, to say I missed the breaks, I missed the community for a while. It's been filled with, with the brand you guys have going on, with the additional shows and all the other content you're doing. That's filled the community side of it. And just being able to, like, say, at the breaks, I don't need them anymore. I can go buy the cards I want. I do well enough in my life. I don't need to do the breaks, and I didn't need to then, but that was as a novice guy back in the hobby, that was what was presented. Like, go do breaks.
And I think too, it's important to know that, and really, I mean, we're kind of getting to, I think, to the gist of it from my perspective. This is not like an anti-breaking conversation. No. I don't break a lot. Again, it's like when I go to the casino, I take a few $100 and I
Yeah.
expect to lose because I'm going to
Yep.
have a fun time.
Yep.
And when I go to the LCS and buy a box, I never hit anything good either. So I
Yeah.
lose there too. And it's
Yep.
not about that. But I think though, again, getting to the root of this conversation, what really stood out to me in your comments on our Discord was that what was driving this and kind of that FOMO,
Yeah.
right?
Totally.
Or keeping up with the Joneses,
Yep.
right? Where it's like, you see the breaks and the breakers post all these like $10,000 cards every day
Yeah.
that get hit, or you see people post their collections on pictures on Instagram, and here's all 70 Connor McDavid RPAs that I
Yeah.
own.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there is kind of that sentiment, like, and Phil, you
Right.
talk about the ego part of that
Mhm.
drives
Ego
the hobby
collecting,
too,
yeah.
and
Yeah.
wanting to keep up with that. And I think like that's that hits all of us, whether we
Oh yeah.
buy singles or boxes or break. And it seems like that's kind of a big part of what you've been trying to work through as well.
Yeah. Totally. Totally. Yeah. I mean, it's when we were at that card show back in February, we talked about, what would you rather have, like a massive collection or just 20 kick-ass cards? I'm at the point where I just rather have 20 kick-ass cards, and I'm good with it.
That's great.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So I mean, that's kind of where, and part of it now with Expo, I'm already looking, towards the fall. Instead of putting the money towards breaks, I'm just sticking that money into my card account. And when the fall comes, I'm gonna have a big war chest. I can go buy what I want. And
That's how you do it,
Oh,
Tori. Yeah. Oh, you don't need help. You just need just guidance and reaffirmation. You're doing a great job.
Exactly. Reaffirmation is a good way to put it. But that's what, I just see a lot of these guys who are, and that's why I brought it up, is it's like, how many Matthew Nyes RPAs do you think you need from the cup? Because you're buying the Toronto in every break, on three different channels. Okay, you've got 20. Great. It's not filling their tank at all, and it wasn't filling mine. So I kind of look at it like, oh geez, it's, if I say something, there might be other people like in our community on the Discord going through the same thing. Because I've had people send me IMs, from Breezy's channel and other Discords I'm on, like, how did you stop breaking? I'm like, I just had to pull the plug, like I deleted it. And I loved, like, Saturday night watching a movie and going on a Whatnot single stream. You can get some great deals, but I got to the point where I'm like, I don't even want the app on my phone right now, because I can't not go watch the Breezy break and then go, oh, Toronto is available, Edmonton's available, it's $180. Yeah, I'll take a shot. I'm gonna get something big. You're not.
Well, it's just one click, right? It's just one.
Yeah, one click.
It's so.
Yeah, you don't want to put yourself in that environment, right? Like, I'll take a serious life issue. Like, if you're a recovering alcoholic, you don't go meet your buddies to talk about your week at the bar.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. Like, you could, but why? Don't do that. There's no reason.
Yeah, exactly.
No
you gotta kind of distance yourself, and so that's what kind of prompted me. Is it was just kind of like, it was a lot of negativity about what I was doing and what I was seeing others do, and those that can afford it. I think, Phil, you brought it up on the Monday show. If you're a millionaire and you can afford to go walk into the expo and buy every card you want, good for you. Most of us aren't built that way, right? But
exactly,
you watch those breaks and you're like, I want to be that guy. I want to just be able to, walk in and be the big guy and buy out, all the big spots and get all the cards and, get the hoo-has and you're a goat and you're a legend and all that stuff. It's
I was just going to mention that, like, a lot of breakers are smart. They use affirmation terms like legend.
Yep.
Right. To their big spenders. Right. And then that builds somebody's credibility and celebrity within a room.
Yep.
And that gets addictive, right? It feels good for somebody to call you a legend.
Sure. Yeah.
Hasn't happened to me yet, but okay. Look, can I rephrase it? I'm sure it feels great when somebody calls you a legend.
You're a legend, Josh.
Corey, there's a sense I want you to feel good, because you've said so many good things about, especially your war chest and putting your money aside, deleting the app. Yeah. I for about a year of my life, I debated flat earthers on Twitter. The only way I'm serious, I couldn't handle it. It just blew my mind. It was like 20. That's what I did during COVID. You all collected cards. I battled flat earthers on Twitter. I had to delete Twitter off my phone. It was an illness. It was a sickness. Something got a hold of me. Now I'm back on Twitter, and I barely check it on my phone. I don't even know why it's on there. It's just on there. I don't have that urge, right? I've matured. I've evolved. So evolving in the hobby is a beautiful thing. And I beg you, share your story to other people just in small conversations at the expo, because so many more people bounce, more people leave at your precipice, at the crux of yours than stay. And you're not leaving. You're staying. I'm going to give you a big hug. I'm going to go on my tippy toes because you're very tall, and we're going to have a great expo, and it's going to be a great time. Awesome. So it breaks, and you know what? I guarantee you will still enter a couple of breaks this year, but it'll feel very different. You'll have a sense of calm. You'll have a sense of comfort, and you know what? If you do kind of chase the dragon a little bit too much, we'll pull you back. We'll pull you back, man. Well, that's what friends are for, right? Exactly. If I start debating flat earthers again, I'm confident Josh will be like, Phil, give me your phone. That's enough. You know?
I don't know. I'm not a flat earther.
Yeah, well.
We've never talked about that. I wonder something too, Troy, if your experience has been similar maybe to what mine was, getting back into the hobby, where I was so overwhelmed with everything going on that I kind of wanted to do everything.
Right.
And it took actually for me knowing, because of our show, how expensive the 2023 products were going to be.
Right.
To like, the best thing that ever happened to me was realizing I can't afford the Bedard chase and rip wax endlessly.
Yep.
And I had to look inward and say, I need to collect different this year, because I still want to be in the hobby.
Right.
It's as when you have $300 boxes of O-Pee-Chee paper, I got to be out. I'm not in that tax bracket to be ripping cases of, a paper product. And so that kind of got me into my lane. And I wonder, and you may have, or you may have not, but have you kind of like identified, like, what do I collect? Like what is it I want? What is it I want instead of everything?
Right.
Because that's what I've tried to do, is say, these are like the 3 things I collect. And I'm going to let everyone else, go after. Like, I don't collect patch autos. I don't dislike them. I actually like them a lot, but it's just not what I collect. And so I don't feel anymore if somebody hits or posts a big RPA or an amazing limited logos. It no longer kind of tugs at my want strings.
Right. Yeah. No, I agree. And I think it, like when we were talking at the card show, I kind of scaled back to not so much defining it by what type of card, but just the players. Like I'm only going after Kirill, Boldy, and Matthew Nyes. I like Matthew Nyes from his Gopher time, and I know he's blue team, Phil, but I like him, and I think he's gonna be a great player. So I kind of focused on there. I do still dabble in like some of the goats, the Sidney Crosby. If I can give a nice Sidney Crosby auto, because his auto is beautiful. Of course, Ovi, McDavid. I'll dabble in those, but I'm not chasing them. I'm not going out going, oh, I need a McDavid this week. No, something comes along and I think it's a good deal. But that's also helped, is I'm not going to a card show and just going through the showcase saying I want this, and this. If there's nothing I want that fits my Kirill, Boldy, Nyes, model, I kind of just move on. I'll dig through value boxes because that's where I can get some. I'm doing a lot of it, like team bags with friends.
I'm pretty sure I know where you parked that buddy of yours.
Yeah. I mean that's
Baba Louie in the dollar boxes.
When you start to dig through that and you find a $30 case hit for 50 cents, like I'll throw that on eBay and that'll help go into my card fund then. So I do dig through value boxes still.
And you're a savvy collector. You're a perfect hybrid collector. You sell to supplement your addiction, just like, well, I don't, but I'm being forced to more lately.
Sure,
but that's the way you collect, man. That's a trade.
Good way to do
Trading
it.
is an art too, right? If you want to own up on your skill, read The Art of War by Sun Tzu. Get better at trading.
Yep. Yeah. That's what I'd like to do at Expo this year, is trade the McDavid RPA up for a bigger. I've got some other traders. Like you call them. Trade up to a bigger McDavid RPA, or a different card I want, and I've had this one for 3 years now. I've enjoyed it, and it's time to get a new one to enjoy. But I'm not chasing it and I'm gonna go spend $7,000 tomorrow on an RPA. Hell no.
Have you had any offers, Tori, for the card?
No, but I also haven't thrown it out there. You know, it's
okay.
It's kind of I've got my PC box that I don't bring to shows on purpose, and I've got my show box that I put the cards I'm willing to sell and move. So I've just kind of kept it for myself, which is
okay.
I kept it in my collection longer. So
I thought you used to be an Austin Matthews guy. Are you?
Well, I am. Yeah, okay. But yeah, I scaled back on. I mean, he had the good year, 2 years ago, and then it kind of fell off, and Nye's kind of popped up, so I Nye's kind of replaced him, and he's cheaper. So
collect Nyes. He's a little honey badger out there. I really like Matthew Nyes. Big fan. He's clutch. He tries hard. He's everything Matthews wants to be.
Right. Yeah, Matthews was fun. He was so much more affordable than like Crosby and McDavid and Ovi. Obviously, he was kind of like that fourth place if you're going to spend money on one of the big 5-6 guys. He fell in that bottom third where you could afford a patch auto for $200. Like
Mitchkoff now. I feel like he's the fourth guy. You got Hudson, Celebrini. Well, maybe he's the third guy though. I don't know, but he's always at the bottom of that superior blue chip tier.
Right. Yeah. So that's where the the evolution has kind of taken me. I'll have some big cards. I'll have some PC cards, and then I'll have my value box fun. That's what I enjoy doing. So.
Do you guys get jealous, like because I do, when you see people like on social media or you start to follow like the cards they post and like their collections are just very curated, like super dialed in, everything they post, like
their focus
is, and like where I still feel like to some degree I get distracted by anything that's shiny. I'm like, gotta have that.
Yep.
Right. And it's like a goldfish. Like if I thought about this the other day, like if you said, well, pull out your like favorite 50 cards, like would my collection make sense to anybody? Probably not.
No, yours wouldn't, Josh. I can tell you that right now as one of your best buds. Your collection wouldn't make mine would. They'd be like, this guy's an Ottawa Senators fan. He collects Crosby. Right. Yeah, that's it. Tori, are you just going to stick to your player collects this year? Are you going to keep looking for some deals? You did reference that. So if you see a good score and you're at a show, you'll pick it up, even if you don't like the player, to try and push it down the line.
No, if I'm going to spend that kind of money for me, it's me a player I like. Like I won't buy, players that don't do anything for me, and I don't know what that is. Like, I don't know who those players would be. It would have to be something in front of me. Like I've started like a subset PC of Hall of Fame autographs, and I don't care. They're stickers, they're leaf, they're unlicensed, they're licensed. Like, it's just cool to have because you can get them for $2, $3, $5, $6, and these are Hall of Famers. Like, so like that kind of stuff, I'll always pick up. A player I don't have. I don't. $20 or less, I'm good with it. But if I'm going to spend $500, $600, $700 on a player, I want it to be somebody I like, enjoy watching, or I'm PCing like my three guys. So, but does that mean I won't walk past a card and go, holy crap, I love that card, I want it? Yeah. That brain, that part of my brain exists. So
I want to ask you a question based on the Thursday show, which hasn't. We're filming. Breaking the fourth wall. This is a little bit in advance time here. On Thursday show, we're gonna, between me, Louie, and Phil, we're gonna kind of run through if we could start over, right? Like if literally we said we have 0 cards today, and a wallet full of cash, and what would we do? What would we do different? What would we do the same? Given since that you've kind of hit these points of crossroads points in the past year, I want to kind of ask you that question. If you could start over today, with a big old bank account and no cards, what would you do differently?
I would get a nice Gretzky O-Pee-Chee graded of some type, mid-range, because I probably spent that much money wasted on breaks. To be honest, like I could probably.
I don't think like that. Just know it. Okay, yeah.
And then I'd probably just put together a massive Curl PC, just because that's after the McDavid RPA. That was who I focused on. Was I started to buy the Curl cards, because he was at that time, 2021, they weren't going crazy yet. Like the cup was so delayed, like a lot of the high end cards weren't even out, so you could get into. I mean, it was last Expo when I got my Future Watch auto, and that's 4 years after it came out. So it took that long for me to get it. But if I could walk into Expo, clean slate, Gretzky rookie, some kind of Gretzky graded rookie, O-Pee-Chee, and then load up my Krill PC, and I think I'd be pretty happy with that to start off.
I think he's thought about that question before, Josh.
I have. The time machine.
You can evolve to that, and you can consolidate your collection. That's kind of been a big theme in the hobby, is consolidating into cards that you really like. Yep. Right. And I think there's a benefit to that. So you said, like, maybe it sounded a little bit aspirational, but that, maybe you have a PC of 20 cards or whatever, 30 cards, whatever it might be. Is that really a direction that you're headed? Because I have the fantasy of doing that, but I keep
right. Right. Yeah. I mean, with collecting 3 players and also dabbling in the big 4 or 5, probably not. But as those guys, Ovi's going to retire soon. Sydney's on the horizon. Like, I want one big of each of those, and I have a Crosby exquisite limited logo auto out of 10. It's beautiful. I love it. I don't need another Crosby card. I'm good with that. I have a clear cut Ovi jersey match, and I know you guys aren't high on jersey match, but it's a number 8 out of 15. So I'm keeping that. That's like I'll never get a big Ovi card. That's my big Ovi card. So I think I could do it, but I think with the Krill cards and Boldy and Nyes cards, I would definitely go over 30 cards. For sure.
I love it.
I'm gonna have like 45 top loader binders at the pace I'm going on, which kind of brings up another topic too. And I've noticed that you've kind of mentioned this before in our Discord as well, that you'll go through periods where you're just like, well, I'm gonna take a month off from buying. And I think, like, in a weird way, like, you guys tell me if I'm reading too much into it, but I get the sense that some people think that, well, to be in the hobby means I have to buy cards every day. No, and I just don't think that that's the case, right? It's like, you can still be engaged and lean into your friends, have fun, and war chest, like you had said, like you're doing for the expo, to find those purchases. Like, there's no obligation to buy stuff, whether it be singles or breaks or boxes.
Yep.
And it doesn't make you less of a hobby person if you don't have a card, but like I said, a lot of this, like, we're guilty of too, because we, in our Discord, our most popular channel is, like, you're basically our mail day channel, right, and it's fun to see what people pick up every day, and to some degree you want to be part of that too. And so I just think, like, some of these things are good to say out loud,
for sure,
that you can still be a card carrying hobby member and not buy a card for.
I think, you know what? You're the fabric of the hobby when you're not buying cards. Because what are you doing? You're organizing, you're learning, you're going through. I mean, that's what I'm doing. When I take a month off buying, I'm still in the hobby, because I'm window shopping on ComC. I'm on TCDB thinking of new projects, new subsets to do. Like your Hall of Fame, you had to go through some journey to be like, you know what? I want to collect some Hall of Fame guys. I don't give a crap if it's sticker auto or a rough card, or you didn't just wake up into the hobby and do that. You had to go through what you went through to make that subset your own. And I think the fabric, the fundamental, the pillars of the hobby are in between the buying and selling. That's my take on it. So
it's being intentional versus impulsive, right?
Yep.
Very well said. Very well said.
Yeah.
Tori,
thankfully, for us, the shows here aren't hockey heavy, so you go to a club, there might be 2 tables, and you're like, okay. I mean, and now with TCG, like, a lot of them, I just go, I'll save my Saturday.
I'm going. Well, I would have already gone by this point, but it's been 3 months since I've been to the Ottawa show, so I'm going to give it another shot on the next one coming up. 2 questions.
Yeah.
Do you still have the Brian Bellows, Mike Modano card? I don't remember what it sets from, but I remember I saw it and I was like, oh my God, Tori, that's the nicest Minnesota North card I've ever seen.
Yeah, I have that. That was so my son went to the National in where was it? Atlantic City. So it was they moved it between Atlantic City and Chicago, and he called me up and he said, there's this Modano Bellows dual auto.
That card was at the National? Oh
yeah.
my God.
And it was in a table that was full of football and basketball and everything else. And there was like maybe 2 cards. And he said, we're buying it was a Cale Makar. He was buying I think it was a Cale Makar, Red Prism Platinum auto, nice card. And he goes, and then there's this, Madonna. And I said, how much? And he said, $30. And I said, see if they'll take 25. And he got it somewhere between 25 and 30. But poor Louis sends me a text and he's like, do you still have that? I'm like, yeah.
Yeah, you're not getting it. Yeah, careful. He hovers around cards. You got to shut him down quick.
Yeah. But he said that the cheapest he can find is $150 on
wow,
eBay
that's
right
good,
now. Man. So and that fits my Hall of Fame. That's 2 guys knocked off the Hall of Fame with Bellows.
Oh my God,
one card. So
the aesthetics of that card are just
it's awesome. I mean, it's the old North Stars jersey and all that stuff. So yep, still have it.
And Bellows doesn't really have a lot of cards out there, right?
Mm-hmm.
So
no,
let alone signed. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. He actually he lived here for a while. I don't know if he still does, but he actually played. We had an adult lacrosse league. We played in the summer and in Edina, which is, as Josh knows, Cake Eater Central, and he lived in Edina, and he was an exceptional lacrosse player. So we were playing field lacrosse, and there were Fridays in the summer where cabin life would take over and people wouldn't show up, and so we throw sticks in, and the guy separates them. I end up on Bellows' team. I would usually play attack. I'm a big guy. I'm not going to run the whole field. Well, the 3 oldest guys on the field, 55, 60 plus, all go right to attack. And I go, oh, crap. I'm playing midfield now with Brian Bellows. So get out on the field, run up, run down. I get stuck out there. I come off. They score a goal on us. He chews my butt out. He says, 1 up, 1 down, then get your fat ass off. And I said, yes, sir. And I did it the next time. And he looked at me and he just gave me this nod and said, good job. So he was a cool dude too. So.
Oh, that's amazing, dude.
Yeah.
So maybe we'll kind of end here, but what advice do you have for anyone that has, I don't know, however you describe what your kind of situation's been or how you've been, your feels
to show your perseverance and your resilience. What can you share?
I think if the brain's talking to you and saying, you're going overboard, it's listen to the little voices. Know your limit. Like if you can afford, like we said, if you can afford to do the breaks and you enjoy it, go for it. Just if it starts to feel like you're getting out of control, take a step back. I mean, that's what the Discord's great for is talking through stuff. People ask questions. I love, I'll pop on the Discord first thing in the morning, look through all the channels, chime in on stuff. That's helped just to, again, it's not buying cards, but I'm staying involved in the hobby. So, I mean, even just reaching out to people and I've had a few people reach out, from a couple Discords asking what did I do? And it basically just, I think having someone to talk to, definitely helps. So, and the community does that very well. I think this community is, different from the football and basketball group where it's all about, money, the big cards and the logo mans and all this other stuff. This is a lot different group, more, I hate to call it the blue collar collectors, but it's more of a blue collar, sport, more blue collar collectors. I think it's a much tighter group where talking things out and asking for help, just saying something gets people talking. I see that a lot on the Discord. People are willing to help each other. So that's pretty cool.
There's been a few times where I've gone on Whatnot and looked at just out of curiosity, the backyard breaks, in their heyday, and watching a football break where break spots sell for $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 a spot.
What?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
A break spot.
That's why they're filthy rich, Phil. They you think to yourself, it's what do these people do? And these are guys that are buying 10 teams, right? It's oh man, or when they would rip flawless cases and case breaks and stuff like that, and just the amount of money. But I think one of the things life teaches you too is that yes, our brain goes to, holy cow, these people are so rich. There's 2 things that I kind of remind myself is that the first is that's just what we assume, that I'm sure some people are very rich, but there's probably others that are getting in big trouble and should not be doing that.
Yeah.
And I also think a lot. I've met a lot of very wealthy people, and I don't know too many people that like get that kind of money that just throw 20,000, 30,000 around like it's nothing. That's typically not a recipe to get wealthy in the first place.
It's
Right.
after the fact. It's they're at home, safe, they've made the money, they've worked hard. Hey, if I'm 55, 60 years old and I have millions in the bank, I'm breaking everything.
Maybe. Yeah.
Yeah. That's okay. Old money you work. I have no problems with that. Give back to the hobby. Sure. Someone's got to
Sure,
get the
yeah.
cards that I want to buy. But that's not most people.
No.
Right.
No,
I'm sure you're successful, Tori, but I don't know if you can spend 3 million on breaks in a year. Probably not. No.
And that's what I think. A lot of those guys, I watch them, and I'm not judging, but I'm like, that guy is maxing out his credit card and probably has maxed out 4 or 5, in the course of a month or so on a just hoping for that 5-figure hit where you can say, look what I got, and now I got to pay all these credit card bills off. I kind of feel bad. Like, you almost like, that's addiction. You know what I mean? Like, if you're at that point where you're maxing out those cards, shouldn't be doing it. It's tough to watch sometimes, especially in those high end rooms, because that's what the backyards and some of those bigger breakers thrive on, is that like you said, those affirmations keep the money coming, and some of them do. So
I think good breakers too, like, get a sense of that and will step in. Like,
that's why Grant's breaks, he gives back. He realizes what's going on. So what does Grant do? He said it to me. What would I want back in a break? So you know how many people don't hit cards? He tries to make people whole as best as he can. And people still, like the cup break, every year they rip him apart. I was moderator this year, so I shut it down real fast. But he goes above and beyond as much as he can. And it is still a business. You still got to make money. But I've seen his margins. He's not making that much. It's about the volume, right? And what's volume? Hard work. So you want to find a breaker who's putting in that hard work and that volume and giving back. And breaks are great if they're done properly and healthy.
They're done properly, Yeah, and I think for the most part, the hockey breaks are done right. You know what I mean? You're never, it's not skunk proof regardless. You're going to skunk, and you're going to skunk more often than not. But
scratches an itch. That's what I say. It scratches an itch, and it's a point of entry in high products. And you got to be headstrong a little bit, right? Just like hamburgers. I love hamburgers. I'd love to eat 5 a day. It's probably not the best thing for me.
Right.
Well, I really appreciate you coming on, because it's very easy for any of us to get real vocal and talk to the world when we, buy that big PC grail or hit a huge card in a box or a break, whatever it might be. But it's, I think that the reality of it is that we, life is ups and downs. The experiences that you have in the hobby that we're all very passionate about is going to have ups and downs as well. And the more we just acknowledge that we all go through it, we all have really poopy experiences at times, but the strength of, or the benefit of having a community is that you have people to talk you up the ledge or lean on, or say, hey, why don't you just not buy something for a month and figure out what you really want, and kind of be the voice of reason for you. And I'm glad that, of course, I was able to do that for you, and Phil talk words.
That's the talking head.
That's the community. Love it.
Right. All right, Troy, very much appreciate you. Appreciate
Love you, brother.
Your friendship. And if anyone needs hobby therapy, the doctor's in. I've got my voluptuous, eager nurse.
Hello.
Philip?
I'm sorry for my attire. I will wear my scrubs next time.
Ready to help. Yeah, we're not sanitary, because there's no surgery needed today. This was more of a consultation.
Yeah. Little band-aid.
We'll be back in the future with more hobby therapy. See you, Tori.
Sounds good. Thanks.
See you, buddy.
Thank you to Tori for agreeing to come on the show and to be honest and share his feelings and opinions. And again, it's so easy in the hobby when you hit a McDavid RPA to go on Instagram and show it off like we all do. To come on a show like this one, the most serious of all shows,
and
be vulnerable is actually something to be very commended, that I commend a lot. So I appreciate, and I think that there's something for everyone there. And the first, what my hope is that somebody can identify with how Tori was feeling and not because again, we live in the social media world where the perception that we get is everything's roses for everybody all the time. I open a box, I only pull bangers.
Mhm.
Every card I buy goes up 1,000 times in value in 6 months.
Yeah.
And we know though that that's not the reality. That these are like the 1 in 3-year experiences that people are posting and kind of showing off to all their friends in the hobby, where the day-to-day grind of being a hobbyist is much less exciting. So that's what I pulled out of it. What did you guys take away?
And I really feel like everybody at some point in their hobby feels or felt like Tori did.
Mhm.
It's not just I really believe that. So when you're in that peak or in that valley, the peak is around the corner. So if you had a bad deal, like I had like what, 3 bad deals, 3 bad purchases a few months ago that I kind of kept to myself. You just kind of internalize it, and for the cheesiness of the scenario, you learn from it. You actually do. And if you don't, well, sometimes the dog runs out on the road and gets hit by the car, and it's just the way it is. Evolution, and or you just kind of have to take your licks a little bit. Bad decisions are
do.
made, but you will get through it. You will buy another good card that will make you happy. I promise. I absolutely promise you. Don't leave the hobby. Lean on your friends like Tori did.
Right.
Well, I mean, Tori went to the hospital and Dr. Josh and Nurse Phil helped him. So I mean, Tori did have a little extra perks than everybody, but I'm sure you have some local friends around that you could lean on a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Tori was the perfect one. I'm glad he, obliged with doing this, because Tori's kind of done it all. He's done more than I have
Yeah.
in this hobby, so he's the perfect one to lay it out there. Here's what I did. Here's what happened.
Here's my moment of crisis.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
Right.
it was good. Thanks, buddy, for doing that.
100%. And I think on the keeping up with the Joneses track, it's good for everyone to remember, myself included. There's no like hobby leaderboard or scorecard. So who are you keeping up with?
There's not.
Well, some people value some people.
Well, the
it'd be like
PSA
me
set
saying
registry
the
would be the
Philip-
only. Sorry, Phil.
Well, it'd be
Sorry.
like the Philip Marsh collection. Let me present it to you. And then if you
Mhm.
buying that, then you'd be like, oh wow, Philip Marsh is a great collect. It's it's how it's presented to you. So if you want to be one of those people, yeah, go nuts. But don't hang out with us. Just we're a bunch of goofs with silly cards, and my card's
Yeah.
shinier than yours. So
This is not a competition. That's
yeah,
what
it's not at all.
yeah,
It's
that's I
weird.
guess the point that I was trying to make. And yeah, I think that so
We're idolizing other humans. I don't know how to compete in that.
mhm.
That's my fanaticism for the other human being is better than yours.
You do you, and I'm gonna do me. So
Yeah.
Well, I'm going to say something very controversial again. And
Uh-oh.
yeah,
Is there a fracking? Okay.
it's supposed to be fun.
And
So I
there
think
goes.
that if there is a measurement, it should be measured by how much enjoyment you get out of it.
Yeah.
And if you get little to no enjoyment, then you probably shouldn't do it, because I think it's weird when people do stuff that they hate
don't like
on purpose. So
Yeah.
there you go.
Thank
Thank
you,
you.
George.
Maybe we'll come back. If you need hobby therapy, let us know in the comments or message us. And Nurse Phil will be there to tend to all your needs.
I got new scrubs.
And
I'm
ones
just
you
looking
don't
to
need.
wear them. Yeah.
Slab Sharks is a Gongshow partner sponsor. We're thankful for their support of our show. The current Slab Sharks weekly eBay auction is live. Ends this upcoming Thursday. There's more than 3,600 cards available to bid on this week. And holy moly, another Bedard RPA 101 is
When did that
live
get
now on Slab Sharks in the auction.
When did that get pulled? I never got that in group chat.
Slab Sharks is the home of you're on the
There's like 11 people in our group chat. Not one person sent
no
his card.
that's the group chat that you're in. There's
Oh,
levels to group
whatever.
chat.
I don't want to be in your weird one.
Listen out.
So this is for this week?
Yeah,
This
it's
premiere?
live right now. It ends up this upcoming Thursday.
It's a 1-of-1 premiere patch card for the
The
listeners.
acetate RPA 101 from Premiere with a pretty ridiculous patch. And now, if you pull this card, I'm pushing the button.
Mhm.
Are you guys?
Oh,
yeah, absolutely. I'm playing with it. Yeah.
Mhm. Yep. Nice little doily in there.
Louis 3607 roughly. Just so you know.
Yeah.
Fine.
Fine.
Okay. Yeah, so this card won in Thursday and then 3600s, and apparently Slab Sharks, like I don't know if there was like an agreement with Upper Deck, but I think 101 Bedard RPAs go straight from the box into the Slab Sharks auction, it appears, because they're landing all of them, it seems like. Good on them.
Logical choice. Sells itself.
Yeah, there you go.
It's the app, man. Once you use the app, I'm sorry, you're not going to use anything else. I firmly believe that.
Well, speaking of the auction at large, we all spent some time going through it this weekend and have picked out a few favorites to highlight. I will go first. So the first one that I'm not typically a McDavid auto guy, but this one really spoke to me. It's from 2023 Ultimate. It's the gold auto out of 15. I really, really like the Oilers Heritage Classic. I mean, I'm assuming it's a retro jersey from early on in there, but I love the, like, when they go kind of brown leather vibe on the breezers and gloves. That's such a nice touch.
It looks awesome.
And
It's
the logo,
beautiful.
the jersey is amazing. So I like the card. There is a lot going on in the design, but it kind of works, I think. So I don't have a problem with that.
Curtains. The curtains are closing and opening
yeah.
on the bottom left. Yeah, so it's
Yeah.
kind of presenting him, right?
I think they're probably closing.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Wow, good. That was funny.
Lovely.
Okay. And what else about this card? Oh, I think that's the auto nice. Nice, strong, bold auto. Got the
Squishy. It's a little squishy.
little squishy. Okay. Oh, well,
Little
we're
squishy.
into
Mm-hmm.
autos. Phil's gonna Dr. Phil or nurse assistant to the nurse Phil. We'll go through that later. The next card I picked out is, says we see this time every now and again, and never really brought it up, but I do like this card. The 2003 SP Authentic Flower Marc-Andre Fleury Future Watch Auto, which was out of 900 at the time, not 999. His auto is fascinating to me.
It's a goalie thing. It's like a modernized version of Patrick Waugh. Like, it's not, but it is, right? The separation, the lifting the pen off the paper. I would never want to have an autograph where I have to lift the ink off. It's frustrating.
Oh, I do.
I'm sure this will go through a pretty penny or for a pretty penny, but just a great card. Louis, what were your favorites?
First favorite was this 2010 Upper Deck Johnny Tavares 20th anniversary auto buyback. Out of 2, I guess. It says out of 2, but it says 6 out of 10, so I don't know what that meant.
Another pen autograph lifter.
Mm-hmm. But I love these 90s
buybacks are awesome.
Buybacks, these things are sweet.
Do you guys realize that very frequently we all pick buybacks, but none of us even own one?
Because the hologram doesn't match. I need a confirmation from the manufacturer. They're not. I'm still waiting for my call back from my second interview.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
To lead the program, yeah.
I have one buyback. It's not an auto.
Oh, you do?
Why'd they buy it back then?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you got the Brodeur 101.
That one.
Yeah.
Oh, because they stamped it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Some nice guy helped me find it at the show. Anywho, number 2. Hometown Boy 2023 Upper Deck the Cup. Brock Faber, the Basics Cup. Rookie patch auto. Out of 25.
The patch complements the card design.
Does.
Oh, big fan of the new Basics, even though I know it's hilarious what it's called and what product it's in, the cup. But I love them. I love these cards. I think they're great.
Yeah, that one stuck out. Wow.
Good
The
pick,
patch
Louis.
was sweet. Yeah. Phil.
So I picked this card as an example of my maturity, of my maturation process. This is exactly what I've been looking for. I would prefer a PSA 8 because it would probably be cheaper. There's probably maybe a teeny tiny premium on the 9 here.
Yeah.
But I would go for this card, and I need this card in my exquisite collection. There's not a lot of them. It's only 25.
Mm-hmm.
I've been waiting all year, 2 years, for something like this to come up, and I'm not going to bid on it. I just bought the Jake Sanderson 101 Ultimate. That was an unexpected purchase, and it was $2,000, give or take some change both ways. So that unfortunately has to be the card of my, that I spent my big money on. I do want to point this card out because I do love it. I need this in my collection. I want to buy it. I want to crack it out, and I want to just slide it in my box. But unfortunately, I'm being a little bit munchy. Well, I didn't keep going. I didn't.
You just derailed yourself.
The Nationals coming up. Saskatoon's coming up. The Expo in November, and I'm in a seasonal business. I'm a single parent. I'm a little cautious right now. Things aren't great. They're not bad. So I'm going to bow out of this. And I just want to show my vulnerability to the audience. All right, let's move on. I don't want to look at this card anymore.
Well, I have questions. Go back.
Okay.
Are you guys pro or against the 3 holes in the blue part of the patch?
I'd prefer it wasn't in there.
Oh, I
love it.
No, awesome. I've tried. I have that thing Troy does. Well, on my head, I've self-diagnosed trypophobia. The holes in the. Yeah, I don't mind it. I'd still go for it.
Isn't Troy's the string one though?
It's the fear of irregular shapes, but I don't know how 3 circles are irregular, but maybe that fits. I don't know.
They're all connected.
It just matters if it bothers you, I guess.
It doesn't bother me enough not to buy the card. I want the card.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah, I could just get a blue Sharpie and fill it in after. Okay.
Thank you. I'm satisfied.
All right. This one's self-explanatory. I'm a big fan of my boys' team is the Wild, so I'll always have a soft spot for them. I really don't like multiple patch windows. This Kaprizov doesn't. Well, now he's signing more on card, but this is his rookie, and good luck finding a rookie that's not a sticker auto. They're hard to come by from him. And lastly, the card is amazing. I love green. I love white. I love gold. It's perfect. This is a Phil hockey card if I've ever. I'm not buying it. I don't want it, but I love the sweet card. Looking at it, it makes my eyes really happy.
So this must have been an update then, I assume.
I don't know. No, he has some cards he signed on card. No.
Oh, I'm going to say because it's from 2021 premiere.
Mm-hmm.
He's a 2020.
Yeah, but it does say 2020 auto, so it must have been an update because he probably signed it later, which is why it was not sticker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Even if it's a tribute or an update, I'm super happy. I think it's a beautiful card.
Patches look great too.
Oh, they're awesome. They're just, and it's not one of those like 2 nice 3-color patches and then 2 napkin patches. It's this card, whoever put it together really gave a good effort. And it's I congratulate you and thank you, card manufacturer person on the line.
I want to highlight 3 quick cards from US consigners that sent them through the Gongshow into the Slab Sharks auction. A number of nice cards this week. One of them, I got to talk to Grant about his stickers. But other than that, the 2023 Upper Deck the Cup Dustin Wolf Gold Spectrum Foil Auto out of 36. I like this card a lot. I love the black Calgary jersey.
Mm-hmm. He's going to have a lot to prove next year. If he has another really good year, I would see his hobby market taking a good bump. I would.
I think there's going to be a lot of preseason hype. And then because I've prospected him a little bit, his goals against in December will probably be
6.
A record. And I don't mean a good record. Probably like
really? Well, being a goalie in this NHL is hard, man. The goals, they're all flying in. Right back to the 80s we are. Jeez.
I really want the dominator situation. I want a goalie to have a season where he just can't be beat. And like you're looking at the schedule. Oh, who do the Wild play tonight, Louis? Oh, crap. They play the dominator where we're going to lose 1-0.
Well, that's your kid. I mean, he's unorthodox style. He's athletic. He's little. Well, how did Dominic Hasek play? Unorthodox, flopped around like a crazy Russian. Or sorry, I'm sorry. He's Czech, right?
Yeah, I think he's pretty anti-Russian, right?
Yeah, I know. I know. That's why I said sorry.
Okay. Yeah. But great card though, and a great auto. And he doesn't have like the streaky D like him and Draisaitl do on here. So I think that's a plus for this particular copy too.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Because they get a little light on the D because I think they do it too fast.
You like heavy D. Draisaitl's got a light D.
Yeah. Dustin, slow your D. Slow it down.
Josh likes stinky D.
Okay. Then we have a 2023 Brock Faber, Young Guns Outburst Silver, PSA 10. Great card. Great
Nice
card.
card. They just extend him? He just get extended?
I got
Something?
extended last year because that's the
Oh, was
thing.
it last-
You score 3 goals and get an 8-year extension, apparently. in the NHL.
All right. Sorry. Never mind.
Then the last one I want to highlight is, again, I mean, I think this card will go for way less than it should just because, but he had like, what, 40 goals almost again?
Yeah,
last
that's
year?
if that was
Maybe-
a 10, it would change the whole outlook of the card, right?
But even so, though, I mean, maybe the best year of like the most like shimmery, shiny gold of all the seismic golds this year in 2017, Tage Thompson.
17-18 is a great year. 18-19 is a great year. They're very,
Yeah.
they're bright golds. They're not 22-23s
The
browns.
Poop Brown era, the Poop
Yeah.
Brown era of the seismic gold.
Yeah.
So, U.S. consigners bringing more heat into the Slab Sharks auction. And once you know, Slab Sharks is changing the game. They built the biggest weekly auction in all the hockey hobby, and it has not been by accident, Phil. You thought it was by accident at first. They're very focused on the collector experience and have made it so easy. Any way they can improve the auction experience, they do. We've seen that firsthand.
Mhm.
And they do all the work. All you got to do is drop the cards off with them or send them into us, the Gongshow, if you're in the U.S. And we'll ship them for you over the border, eliminate all the pain and hassle of shipping internationally. Plus, then your cards get listed in the biggest hockey auction there is. And if you're selling your cards, I think you want them in the Slab Sharks auction because that means that tons and tons of people are going to see them when they tune in every Thursday. So to get your cards listed in the biggest and bestest hockey cards auction, check out the links in the show description. If you're an American, it takes you right to our simple registration process. And if you're Canadian, you're on your own. Just kidding.
Well, you
Canadian
could
or
contact me, I guess, but
Or from beyond, head to slabsharks.com.
I'd rather you didn't. To be
That
honest.
was a joke.
Oh, okay.
Mhm.
Hobby news.
Hobby news.
Hobby news.
Oh, you had two
Wow.
more, you said.
I know. I can't. The paper's somewhere. I don't know.
Are you feeling down or something? That was kind of
No, I had a
gross.
busy
Yeah.
man. I had a busy weekend. I need to relax.
Okay.
We're good. No, we're good. We're good.
We'll relax on the show. I can't wait to talk about this with you guys. This story blew my the next two, and so in the second story, a teaser. There is a mind-boggling stat that wow, but we'll get to that. So the first story comes from Collect. Kitty, okay?
Yeah. You heard that.
Oh,
Sorry
did I
about
tell you
that.
guys that we left Kobe up north for 2 weeks?
Oh, you did? What are you gonna
Yeah.
do? Who's gonna snuggle you at night now, Josh?
He's got an
you're
extra
coming.
pillow.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to another cabin next week, and no doggies allowed. So he's with Grandpa, my dad.
No dogs allowed at a cabin?
I guess the ones that you rent. You get a lot of money for renting cab. I won't embarrass my wife's parents by how much they rented this cabin for, but wow.
Okay.
Wow.
Mhm.
Yeah, big bucks.
Oh, yeah.
You should rent a cottage next time. Might be cheaper.
Is my name Hansel or Gretel? I don't think so.
Get out of here, man.
Do I need porridge? Bears live in cottages? I don't know.
You got some against porridge? I love porridge. A little cinnamon in there, a little brown sugar. Great.
You've
man.
actually had porridge?
Yeah?
I don't
Porridge is great.
Oh, I thought it was made up like Moncton. Okay, anyways. So a record $305 million was spent on sports and trading cards in June.
That's a month number?
In a month.
Month.
305.7 million in the month of June.
Wow.
So this is from the figure that Card Ladder tracks across all major marketplaces and auction houses. It's the highest month of sales since they've been recording and breaks the previous record high of 303 million set in March. So the 305.7 million record accounts for 5.2 million singles that were purchased on the secondary markets last month alone.
It's a lot of money changing hands.
Yeah, no
Wow.
kidding.
How much money is made off the middleman in these transactions, eh? Holy moly. Well, it's a little for me, a little for my buddy. And yeah, there you go.
Well, you figure what? Maybe the average is 15%. So that would be 45 million.
It's a
in
good
1 month
market.
just off trading cards. Here's the breakdown by key marketplace. So of the 305 million, 245 of that was eBay,
Yeah.
32 million golden, and then the next biggest was Fanatics Collect at 27 million.
Imagine if eBay had a program in place to make people pay. They'd probably have 500 million. I
think a big part of this is, again, the growth and surge in Pokemon.
Yeah.
But
TCG.
I personally believe, though, that any sort of collecting of cards is good for the whole hobby in general, the collecting hobby in general, and will trickle down effect to hockey cards, right? The more
Agreed.
accepted that collecting is, the more that the hockey fan might be, so if you're talking with your friends and they're talking about these Pokemon cards they got, and you don't care about Pokemon, but you're a hockey fan, it might put something in your head to think, oh, maybe I should check out hockey cards.
Well, I've said it before, but everything, like, imagine something coming out that made magazines popular again, right? Everyone, like, there's a certain community of magazine lovers. I'm sure there is, but it's probably small. But you just start seeing people going to magazine conventions. You're like, why are you getting magazines? Everything's digital. Well, we don't want digital hockey cards. We don't want NFTs. We don't want Topps digital. Some do, not most. We want something tangible. So when I see young kids, whether it's hockey, football, TCG, if they're holding something that humanizes them and doesn't digify to them at home on their iPad, it's a win. You got to take the win. So even when I saw those little ankle biters at the Ottawa card show today, they're with their parents. A, family time, check, right? B, tangible product, eyes not on a screen, check. What a wholesome hobby. Now, there are aspects of it, of the money thing and the breaks and whatever sides you go on that. That's fine. Those are little sub conversations we can have. But overall, it's a net positive, man. All this money coming in the hobby is a net positive, because we're not going to be robots at home all the time. I want to go out and hold my hockey cards or my Pokemon cards, so this is great news.
The aspect too that I really firmly believe now about like hobby health and how to measure it, and this did come from Chris and Christina at Card Ladder, and I think Chris has talked about this on our show before too. It's more important to me than values, because when we first started the show, that was to me the key indicator of hobby success. Like, is it a Cole Caulfield Young Guns? Is it worth more or less than it was 6 months ago? But what I think you learn, the more that goes on, the more that you learn about the hobby, is you start to understand that the general health of the hobby there's so many other variables that factor into what a Cole Caulfield's Young Guns is worth today. It's how he played, first of all, the pop count and gem rate and all these other things. And so to me, it's not the best measure of hobby health. It's more the total volume of transactions, and both money spent and cards being bought and sold, I think is so. For me to see 5.2 million cards sold and who cares about the 305 million as much?
Yeah.
To me, that's a great sign. That means that people are active in this hobby and acquiring and moving on from acquiring new cards or moving on from cards that don't fit their collections.
Agreed. Well said.
So I take this as a very positive report, and that the hobby is in a very good place. And we'll get back to the Pokemon thing in a second, but I want to roll into our next story where gem rate, because now we're into July and through the first half of 2025, they published their compiled stats and analytics for the first half of the year. So January through June. Can you guys believe half the year's over already?
Yeah, kind of happy. I want hockey back. I miss it already. Okay. I'm excited for next season already.
So overall, and this is from the big four grading companies, 12.4 million cards were graded in the first 6 months of this year. How that breaks down, PSA led the way with 8.89 million, which is up 18% year over year, comparing the first half of this year to the first half of last year.
They couldn't even get to 10. Weak.
CGC, pretty strong. 2.18 million, up 102%. So they've doubled their business in the past year.
Beautiful slabs.
Yeah, amazing slabs.
SGC came in just under 1 million in the first 6 months of 2025 at 962,000, up 3% year over year. And then there's Beckett, 366,000 cards graded, basically flat.
Yep.
Yeah. So of the 12.4 million cards, though, just 5.1 million of those were sports cards.
Oh, wrong button.
Oh,
So
wow.
here's where maybe there's some conversation and it gets a little interesting. PSA graded 3.75 million sports cards in the last 6 months, down 18% year over year.
Oh.
SGC graded 914,000, up 10%. CGC 356,000, up 189% in sports cards. And then Beckett,
Interesting.
151,000, down 16% year over year.
I don't know if this is a power of suggestion, but I saw a lot of CSG hockey cards graded today at the show.
Really?
Yeah. Like,
they're doing
I don't know.
something to really make a hard charge at this.
Is it the ComC thing maybe? Like people, because it's cheaper, right, to grade with them than PSA?
I don't know.
I don't know.
Maybe.
I don't know. I don't know if
I want to understand though, like what they're, because I admittedly don't pay a lot of attention to them, but
their slabs are just awesome, man.
They're nice,
really nice.
I don't
Very
like
nice.
their label as much, but
the black label's nice. When it gets a 10, it's nice. It looks like royalty.
Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's really nice.
So here's a look at overall market share and gem rate for the top 4 grading companies from the first half of 2025. So PSA has a 72% overall market share, followed by CGC at 17%, SGC at 8%, and then Beckett at 3%. In sports, it's a little tiny bit more lopsided to PSA, 73% PSA, then 18% SGC. So collectors has 91% of the market for sports cards, followed by CGC at 7% and Beckett at 3%. For some reason, though, those don't add up to 100. I think that is 101.
When does the United States government go after antitrust laws?
Like, I don't know. I don't know if it is
like
one,
I'm kind of making a joke, but I'm also not really. Like, isn't that a real thing down there? Like, Brad's probably like, Phil, stop talking. What are you doing?
I'm sure they're not. You know, I don't know what the like the definition of. I understand what a monopoly is, but what like definitionally one is, and whether or not. Like,
well, I think if you can manipulate any market because you own it, that would be a good starting point. And I would say we're getting close, aren't we?
Well, I think like Microsoft was considered a monopoly because when you bought a computer, they were forcing the Windows software on the computer and not giving consumers a choice. Where PSA, it only is a choice. There's never, it's people. Okay. So I don't think it can be considered a monopoly because of it.
Pretty soon, as long as you can still buy a hockey card that's not graded, great. But what it's going that direction, it'll be like 30 years. Oh, you have a card from the 90s that's not graded? Can I see it?
Yeah, but like Monopoly would be like, let's say PSA did a deal with Upper Deck where they could only be graded by PSA. Yeah. That would be more of that.
Well, I'm sure they're trying. I would if I was the owner, COO.
This is super interesting. Looking at gem rates for sports cards. So PSA's gem rate was 34%. Beckett 44%. How do you say that we're trying to get more cards without saying we're not trying to get more cards?
Say the next one though.
Well, I will. CGC 42%, which is pretty generous. SGC 21% gem rate. Whoa.
Yeah.
well, so there's a number of ways you can look at that. I would say that, again, you have to do your own assessment. Never just go off the number. But if there's a gulf between SGC and PSA values, there could be a little bit of a crack and flip opportunity there, right? Because you would assume that they're being a little pickier than, but again, you have to do your own.
And they're kind of mostly known for older cards, right? And older cards aren't going to gem. So,
can be a factor in that too.
Yeah, a lot of baseball purists use SGC because the Tux slab looks good, and I don't think a lot of those cards are gemming. Right, guys will throw in like $100 commons of 52 a set of 52 baseball,
Yeah.
And they'll just get 2s and 3s and 4s, but there you go.
Well, don't forget to include in here though, Beckett's numbers include 9.5s or greater, and CGC 10s also includes pristine and perfect. So there's a couple more,
Sure.
cards thrown into that
point.
mix too. So
Yep, good point.
Wait, they have. Why don't I know this? So CGC has pristine, and then a bigger, like more pristine.
Yeah, they have
When
the
do we
gold
stop?
label.
Oh, so that's like the
You've seen
black
it.
label.
You've seen it, yeah.
Okay, I got you. But what's the difference between pristine and perfect?
Well, one's pristine.
And the other one's perfect. Okay, I get that.
Well, isn't pristine better than perfect's better than pristine. Yeah. Right?
So they have CGC 10, CGC pristine, and CGC perfect, I guess.
Oh, I thought we were talking about SGC.
Mm-mm.
No, we're talking about CGC.
Oh, I don't know then. I have no idea.
Well, I guess I'll have to look that up. Maybe somebody can chime in the chat. We'll look at the grading breakdown by category. So PSA graded, we'll look at hockey cards mainly. PSA graded 158,000 hockey cards in the last 6 months, down 35%.
4.9 million TCG cards?
Yeah.
Oh my God. Dude, we're getting slaughtered.
Yeah.
Holy, I'm sorry.
Well, and hockey being down so much, I was trying to figure out, well, I don't think the hockey hobby is in trouble. The first part of last year, we had Bedard Series 2, and I think there was a lot of grading action related to that. And so I think some of it can at least be explained with probably through the Bedard Young Guns entirely.
Mm-hmm.
Then CGC graded 38,000 hockey cards, which seems like a lot. Like they're doing something.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you get only 18,000 for SGC and 7,000 for, I always thought that like Beckett was like, that there's like a special connection between hockey and Beckett. It appears no longer.
Wow, there's so many the youth. We're the last generation that has a connection to it, and I'm not spending my money on it. Are you guys? I know you're not. Who's spending money on Beckett anymore? Probably the generation above us, right?
I think we still all have an affinity to the brand, though. Like if they got their S together, their poop together, and made a nice slab, and made
CGC, like if they ride this little wave, like if they opened up a Canadian office and made it a little easier for Canadians, like hockey's for the taking, man. You could cater to hockey with their massive 158,000 submissions. But yeah, I know it's not maybe big money for them, but it could be a niche market where you could lock hockey down, right? Like imagine a CGC versus PSA war for slabs and hockey. It'd be great. Who wins? We do. We all win. Cheaper prices, better product.
Mm-hmm.
So the 38,000 is up 704% year over year. So that means they've 7x. So what's 34 divided by 7 would be not a math show. It's like 5. So they had graded like 5,000 cards last year around the 5,500 call it 5,400. And I'm guessing at the time PSA looks at data and is like, whatever, right? 5,000.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
At 38,000 now, from going from 5,000 to 38,000, I bet you they're paying attention.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, some manager is or somewhere in some.
Yeah, if I'm in charge of marketing at PSA or sales, I'm like, ooh, what are these guys doing?
Well, they can't beat us. Listen, if you're a PSA fanboy or a CGC fanboy, I'm being very objective here, okay? The CGC slab seems to be quite more clear and just right on, like it just, I don't know, makes my hockey cards look better. So maybe that people are noticing and they're just going with CGC. Are they cheaper than PSA? I don't know much about either of the
I don't know. Yeah, I mean, none of us are huge graders and actively. Yeah. And you can all have the opinion. I think what you can say is that the clearness of their slab is pretty hard to discount. There's things I like about the look of it, there's things I don't like about it too. But that's just a subjective.
I'd have
sort
to
of thing.
really, I'd have to grab one and really look at it. I mean, upon glancing, holding it a few times, I love them, but I don't know. I don't know how they fit in a box. I'm picky. Do they stack together? I have no idea.
They do.
I'd assume. Yeah, I'd assume they do.
Okay.
Yeah.
Bulk is a minimum of 25 cards. It's $14 a card, or if you just want to do an economy and get it back in 20 days, $17.
Well, that's pretty fast. $17 for 20-day turnaround.
Interesting. Interesting.
Well, I've
See how she
teased
rolls
it.
out.
You guys ready for a mind-boggling Pokemon grading stat?
Yep.
I know you do. I know you are, Phil.
Show me your
4.9 million. That's pretty crazy for PSA.
So check this out. Of the top 100 individual cards graded by PSA in the first half of this year,
No.
97 of the 100 are Pokemon cards.
No, I don't believe that. I willfully ignore that stat.
That is
don't be a hater.
crazy.
Okay, hold on. So on average, out of 100 cards, 97 are Pokemon.
No. They're saying, so if you look at the most, like the single cards, like the Ken Griffey Jr. rookie or
Money-wise, what's worth the most?
No, the total number graded, right? Connor Bedard, Young Guns, like what cards were graded the most?
Oh, I
So
understand.
of the top 100 most graded cards,
97 are
97 are Pokemon.
Those kids, I tell you. Well, it's not kids. I said some more adults today than kids. Yeah.
Okay, let's
don't get
make a completely uninformed prediction, which we're actually pretty good at on the show.
We're good at this, yeah.
But I'm just curious to what this is, like a gut instinct kind of thing. A year from today, we're looking at this report. Do you think Pokemon is bigger or smaller than it is right now?
I think smaller because I've been through this before. But
No,
you
we're
know,
not talking about divorce.
Yeah, get out of here. Pokemon is a very big peaks and valleys thing. Comes and goes and comes back harder every time. Yeah. Saying that, it is the biggest I've ever seen it by far, and it has stayed. It's like 30 years this thing's not going away. So it's here to stay. I just don't think it really shakes the tree of other sports. It's just an added part of the hobby. Like, I don't think Pokemon is taking away hockey collectors. If it is, they weren't that hardcore to begin with. It's a totally different thing. So these stats don't bother me. I find them fascinating and pretty mind-blowing. It doesn't bother me.
Oh, it'd be weird if it bothered you. Like, why would it bother you?
I think it bothers a lot of freaking TCG everywhere. Blah, 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 blah. Like, okay, well, whatever. You know, they sell broccoli at restaurants. I don't like that, but I just don't order it.
What do you think, Louis? Is Pokemon bigger or smaller a year from today?
I'm gonna say the same or a little bigger. No, it's just a year. That's a short period of time. In 5 years, maybe I see Phil's point. Like, it's gonna maybe start doing some of this, but I still think it's up, still in an upward trend.
They're a marketing genius.
Crazy.
It's marketing masterclasses left, right, and center with this, right? The connections to Costco and the hobby shops, and they're doing it perfect. I don't know if the product is sustainable, right? How can it be? I bought $5 at Costco and I made 2x my money. Like what? That's a house of cards.
You think that's driving it? That it's like the 2019 flagship all over again? It's not collectors, it's flippers.
I bought Cole's sister a starter pack for the game. She was pissed off because I didn't get her packs so she could hit a card. I thought Pokemon was a game. Like I got, you know what I mean? I thought that's the whole point. It's not. It's just like that conversation about breaks. No one cares about hockey. They just want to gamble. And it's that same thing, right?
Not go there.
Well, Cole's sister's 8 and she was like, "What is this? I know how to play the game." I'm like, what? Okay, just trying to be nice. And
I'm such a boomer on this though, because I was in college when Pokemon came out. And so it's very hard for me to understand it, to be really honest. And it's like, so I get the whole sort of like, you hear people say, well, when you collect Pokemon, they don't get hurt, they don't have crappy seasons, they don't get arrested for doing something stupid. And I totally understand that aspect. And this is again a boomer take, and I get it, and I'm just being honest because it's not a critique, it's I don't understand. It's like, how do you produce set after set after set, year after year after year of a different Charizard and keep that interesting? Because what sports does give you is new content. You have Macklin
Yeah.
Celebrini,
Mhm.
and then you have Gavin McKenna, and it kind of there's a lot of refresh to the characters.
The lore keeps changing in our field.
Yeah, where it's like, and I don't know, does Pokemon introduce? But all I hear is like the same ones. It's like Charizard, Blastoise.
No, I think it's more complicated than that. I don't really.
Probably.
I don't know. I would say let's get someone on the show to demystify it. I'm good. I'm not interested. Like, you know, I all good points. And at the end of the day, I do think it is a net positive. Nobody's in my way. I do like to people watch at the expo in that nice back corner where they all are. Big fan of that. I like the costumes. So yeah.
So Louis,
Bless
your
their
kid's
heart.
into it though. What's the connection with him? Is it nostalgia from being a kid and watching the cartoons or all the Pokemon related toys? Or
No, because I don't think he ever watched it. So it came out. My brother's 6 years younger than me, so that's when it was massive. And then he ended up giving Gavin all of his Pokemon cards, and Gavin would flip through them. And when I started messing with regular cards, hockey cards again, I don't know what it sparked. I don't know what the interest was, but he doesn't collect. He only collects like the Japanese ones.
Aren't they all
Okay.
Japanese?
Well, the
What, there's
packs.
different
that you-
countries now?
the ones that are like have Japanese writing, so like
Yeah.
the Japanese only
Yeah,
sort
Can
of.
you read
Why?
Japanese?
you can't.
What?
Yeah,
No.
everyone, no.
Get out of here. No, you can't. Can you read Greek? Mm-mm.
It's all Greek to me.
Alpha, Omega.
Yeah, I can.
So I don't
read-
know. Let me answer you real quick in short. There's no rhyme to his reason. Just
Okay.
it's cool, and he wanted to just have fun with it, be a part of us when we're at the shows, and get something like we're getting.
Yeah.
Stuff, there's something to do. So
Is a
Yeah,
part of
say
it.
they're-
Go ahead.
Go ahead, John.
Well, I was just going to ask, I wonder part of the appeal is, let's be honest, not everyone's into sportsing. Like, it wants to get their sports on, right? And so if you're not a sports person, but you
Yeah.
have a collector's mindset, then maybe it's the most logical thing to collect.
Sports is like the bottom. It's tribal, right? The sports is at the I'm very aware I'm a Neanderthal when I'm at a Sens game. Like unga bunga unga bunga. Like, come on. I mean, it's not flattering behavior. I mean, it's an opportunity for me to be silly and a little animalistic, get in touch with my barbarian side. And
I think what killed it for him is his boys aren't playing anymore. You know, when he was growing up playing hockey, it was Taves and Kane, and he's got a boatload of cards from those guys. And now that, well, we know Taves is back, but you know, and well, they're both back, but kind of shouldn't be maybe. It's just not an interest anymore. They're not like they were when he was playing, and
Yeah,
so-
ebbs and flows. I get that. So
yeah,
Oh.
people collect stamps, coins. I love like if I stopped collecting cards, I'd probably get back into my silver bars and coins. It's fun.
Mhm.
We're dudes. We like to hold things and collect things, and you know.
Sure. It's been a minute since we've checked in with our buddies Carter and Justin from the Saskatchewan Card and Collector Experience, as they've been working their way towards building their very first big show this October in Saskatoon, October 4th through 5th to be exact. We'll all be there.
yeah.
With bells on. If you haven't been following along, Carter and Justin are just two collectors that had a big idea. They've never promoted any card show, large or small, and they decided to go big and bring to Middle Canada a large show experience. So we're excited to catch up with the two and see how their progress is going. And we hope you enjoy this update and convo with Carter and Justin. We're going to welcome back to the show Carter and Justin from the Saskatchewan Card and Collector Experience. I got it right. I'm proud of myself.
Right on.
For our monthly or so check-in. And what we're doing is following their, what's a word where I don't have to say the J word and want to hate myself?
Experience. You're
Their
following
experience.
our
Follow the
Oh, yeah.
experience.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
been building a card show from scratch, the ups, the downs, the goods, the bads.
Mhm.
And last time we talked, well, first of all, hello guys, welcome back.
Glad to be here.
Oh,
Hey boys.
Last time we
Such a
chat,
sultry voice.
yeah, you guys were kind of in the in the, I don't know if like how we term it, the doldrums, but not a bad thing, but you're just kind of in the grind mode, right? Of trying to get the threshold of vendors you need to make this show a go. So I want to start there. Like, now, correct me if I'm wrong, but my understanding was we needed a minimum of 100 tables.
I forgot to put it up.
Oh, there it is. And then the show is like a for sure thing. And then, you have some more that you can sell throughout. So have we reached 100 tables?
Yes, we're good to go.
Woo! Nice.
We're on,
It's
that's
happening.
huge, man. Yeah, it was big.
Yeah.
You guys did it.
It's not even July yet.
We're
That's
Not
amazing.
yet.
Honestly,
Another 40
that
to
is
go.
barely July. Yeah.
well. I mean, would you honestly, if you would have said like 8 months ago, if you would have said you'd have 100 tables sold before July, I think you would have taken that, right?
Yeah, 100%.
Oh, huge win. Yeah. Yeah.
That's amazing. So it's happening for sure. Like, we can book our tickets. Phil can try to find a girlfriend.
Oh, I'm on Tinder in Saskatoon already. Yeah. No one's matched me yet. That's why I started early. Got to get him. Yeah.
Swipe left.
Molly.
Ladies. Swipe left.
Yeah.
So, I mean, how does it feel though? I mean, I want to get some feedback from you guys. Like, that it's a massive accomplishment.
Yeah, I feel like it's every vendor is an extra 5 minutes of sleep at night. So I'm finally getting, 4 or 5 hours, and it's good. I feel like we worked our butts off to get here, and the experience has been a ride, and I can't wait for the show to come to reality. Our vision come for the people, or I guess for the collectors, and yeah, I don't know what to say about it. It's just it's been a ride. It's been a lot of things that we've learned, a lot of trial and error, circle back. But one thing I found is you don't give up. If someone says no, you just check in a little bit, and then maybe there's something that changed their mind, and lots of follow-ups. Yeah, persistent, and there were some hard no's out there and maybes, and more maybes turned into yeses, and it was it's been successful so far. So now the last 40. Yeah.
The last 40. So you have 40 tables left, and you have 3 months or so at least, right, to get them landed. So that should be plenty of time. Well, going back to the no thing, like anyone that's had a sales job or learned about anything sales-ish, is really no today. That's all. And when you can train yourself to understand that like so many people think like when someone says no, that's like no forever and ever, and it's just not true. Right. And so it takes away the fear of that no a little bit. And yeah, so I've always found that very, very helpful. So you have 40 left to sell. What else has happened though in the past month? Like, what are some of the other things that you guys have been working on? The good, the bad, the ugly sort of stuff.
Yeah. Any challenges, problems, or anything?
We had two. We were applying for Sask tourism grants too to promote the show with. We probably spent a solid week or two of evenings going through the whole criteria on their application process, and to just find out that they would pass us by too. So that was kind of heartbreaking, putting all that time in there. We thought it fit really well with their marketing and promoting the province. And then we need to apply for lottery license too. And I found out that I applied for the wrong license.
Oh, no.
And I even called into the place too, just to make sure I was using the right application form. And nope.
Why do you need a lottery license?
For all those door prizes we're giving away on the hour.
Oh.
Yeah.
So what is a lottery license? Help me understand that, because I'm confused.
Lottery license with the Saskatchewan Liquor and Gaming Authority.
Okay. So any sort of giveaway is regulated and
welcome to Canada.
Yeah.
There's always the middleman.
Yeah, we talked to the lawyer about it. We talked to the Liquor and Gaming Authority about it, and they just said, "Yeah, but you should definitely have a lottery license. We don't want to be caught without it, and then find out after that we should have had one." So,
what's the fine? Did you look into that? I mean, you could be like an oil company, have an oil spill, they bill you $10 billion, but you made $150 billion. What do you care?
That's true.
Right? I mean, if the fine's $50 and like came on you,
I didn't look into that part of it, just what it
Yeah,
cost
I would.
us.
Why did
I wanna-
the did the province tell you why they won't? Did they give you like XYZ reasons why they won't be part of the tourism package that you were trying to apply for?
Because we didn't have any definitive numbers yet. We can't really tell you how
For
many people
attendance?
were there, how many people booked hotels, how many people coming out of province to the show yet.
You need a sample size, I guess. That's what they want.
And basically to fit the criteria, yeah.
That's unfortunate because like this is a new thing, right? Don't they want
exactly? Yeah, we can
very
guess, but
Yeah.
that's the best
like
we can do.
Our social media and website had over 200,000 visits at the time of the application, and it still was a hard no. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
They want to make
That
sure that it's
bureaucracy at its
go.
finest, eh, boys?
Yeah. So
Okay.
yeah, and even giving them our outside of province ticket sales and everything still didn't help. And so
Well, that's
try again.
unfortunate.
Try again
I'm
next
sorry.
year. Yeah.
So
Yeah, I would
there's-
assume next year you'll have better luck.
Yeah. We'll try again. Yeah.
How many people, like, what's your sense so far of like what percentage of your vendors are going to be local versus the percentage that are coming from, I don't know, like 4 to 6 hours away?
Oh, that's a good
I'd
question.
say it's
We didn't.
30%, 40% would, as of right now, are local, and the rest are from Manitoba and Alberta.
Wow.
We don't have anyone from BC yet. Like there's a handful that are, like a couple guys out of Regina, Moose Jaw, Prince Albert, but there's quite a few out of Winnipeg, quite a few out of Edmonton, Grand Prairie, Calgary. So it's spread out all over.
While we're on that topic, then what do we got? We got some confirmed vendor updates or anything new you want to share that's going to be
Any
there?
big names?
Trying to get Grant, eh? GP Sports. He sounds pretty confident. I mean, he's a big buyer, and I don't think we haven't seen any cards in the middle of Canada, so I'm trying to get him to go there.
Yeah, that's what I was telling him. I was like, it's virgin territory for you, Grant. So hopefully he makes the decision to come out. He has conflicting dates with another show, so we'll see what happens there.
Yeah.
I'm pushing hard for this one. I mean, plus he'd stay at the same house with us. It'd be a great time.
Yeah. Free room and board. There you go.
There you go. Yeah.
Phil wants to give him a noogie.
Yeah. Get over here, knucklehead. Give me your cup tins.
We did also sign some guys to do our mail-in orders for our autographs for Brian Trottier and Tim Shelday.
Okay.
So then people will be able to order online, and then if they're not able to attend, then they'll get the autograph through the company there. And yeah, Andre out of Quebec Ontario, is going to help us with that. He also does the expos for Toronto and Edmonton. So
Nice.
it's a good name to have on board. Yeah. Good connection.
I think there's an uptick in Brian Trottier card sales because everyone I talked to was like, hey, look at my Brian Trottier card. I'm going to get him to sign.
Yeah. I've seen that.
Bring it over.
Yeah. I think it helps that he's in the cup this year.
Oh, that's
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Yeah, that's right. Exactly. Yeah.
You're right. Yep.
Yeah.
What did he
so
have in the
thanks,
cup? Did he
Billy.
have a limited logos?
He has a couple of cards in there.
You're the checklist guy.
Yeah, there's a checklist for the
Yeah,
website for that.
hockeychecklist.com, Josh.
HockeyChecklist.com. Yeah, sure.
How about how you doing on snacks and food and stuff?
So we
I get
looked into
thirsty.
getting
Yeah. Kurt.
we looked into
Kurt.
getting a food truck or a couple food trucks outside, but there's too many items on the menu inside. So then it kind of eliminated the majority of the trucks we wanted to bring in. So we're just gonna have to kibosh it this year. So the menu inside the venue is gonna be full and stacked. So there'll be lots to eat there. But we also added mini donuts. A vendor's coming in to sell mini donuts, and then lemonade. So this homemade lemonade, and I tried some, and it's just, oh my god, it's unreal.
Excellent.
Like unreal. Yeah.
Nice.
You'll be there a couple times.
I don't like lemonade.
Well, you'll
Well,
like this
cancel
stuff.
the
I
show.
guarantee it.
No, I'm not. That don't be like that. Like I don't like broccoli. Oh, but you should try my broccoli. It's really good. Look, lady, I don't want your damn broccoli. Okay, I want your lemonade, Carter. I don't
Phil,
like
drink the
lemonade.
lemonade.
Drink the lemon. Yeah. There's something in the water here in Saskatchewan, Phil.
Give me the Kool-Aid. I'll drink the Kool-Aid, but not the.
What do
lemon.
people in
Yeah.
Saskatchewan eat? Like, I'm kind of being serious about. I mean, is there like
What
a?
kind of a question is that?
Will you stop?
They eat very
Boy,
well.
Pierogies, steak, potatoes.
Pierogies?
Have you ever had
Are there a lot
pierogi?
of Russians and
Newborn babies.
Ukrainians, yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I was wondering what the ethnic foods are. Is that a problem?
Meat and potatoes, man. They go hunting. They throw it on the barbecue. I don't know.
Yeah, lots of meat and potatoes out here.
Yeah.
Okay. So there's
Pierogies.
going to be pierogies at the show?
I don't know if that's on the menu.
I'll check the Berryland on that.
Okay.
If not,
Would they allow you to have
get
food
some
trucks, or
pierogies.
do they say no to that?
Well, so I asked which ones, if we got food trucks, and then he sent them. He's like, well, if it doesn't conflict with the menu, I was like, okay, well, can I see the menu? So like the only thing that wasn't on there was tacos. So it's like, okay, well, I guess that's that. So
Do they
But,
have fajitas? If they have
geez, I
fajitas
don't
on the
know.
menu, just throw it in a taco. It's kind of the same thing, right?
yeah, same thing, I guess. Yeah.
Different shell, I guess.
But yeah, so that was the story on that one. So mini donuts and lemonade and yeah, maybe
Okay,
next
so
year.
you got 100 tables filled. You need 40 more. Obviously, people are talking.
Yeah.
What's the feedback so far you've been receiving on what you guys are doing and what other people maybe be telling other people about the show? No.
When I'm calling around out of province stores now, I had one store owner tell me that he's had customers come in asking about the show in Saskatchewan.
Nice.
I've been phoning shops in BC, and they're requesting posters to be mailed to them so they can put it up in their stores too. So it's been great. It's like we get lots of travelers coming through here to the shows across Canada, and we'll direct them to you. So it's like that's awesome.
Awesome, man. That must feel good, eh, boys?
Yeah,
That must
if
feel
they
really
can't make it, that's the best thing we could ask for. Yeah.
When do you hope to have like the next 20 sold by? Is that like a good goal for the month of July?
Tuesday.
And next week.
Yeah, I feel like July is going to be a slower month. So yeah, I would feel like by the end of July, the next 20 would be good.
Any
to
more
have.
big plans? Like any surprises that you guys are working on, or something fun? Like
Not-
250-foot wood statue that could flammable of Gordie Howe, maybe?
Oh,
I don't know if. Go ahead, Louis.
Here's the last one I did. I can bring this to Saskatoon. We can make it happen. It was awesome.
That looks like 3 stories high, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
2.5.
Did you drive a crane truck too?
Yeah.
Yep. You don't worry about it. If I can do it, I'll get it set up and we'll get it burnt.
I like you guys, I really do, but I'm going for this and the Steve Angel Hobby Barbecue. So I want to see progress
Well,
on that.
Why don't we just do this in his backyard?
Yeah, right. Phil, what have you done? I'm like, oh, it wasn't me. I swear to God. You see those hands on him? He's just going to grab me by the head and lift me up and talk to me.
Well, you're talking about ragdolling on our show today, Phil.
Yeah.
That's exactly what he would do to you.
Steve Angel could ragdoll pretty much anybody. Yeah, no problem. Big mitts.
Yeah.
So the summer, are you finding it's a little more difficult or challenging, I should say, as you're getting more numbers? You have over 100 tables now. Is it harder to get more tables now that you've accumulated so much? You've exhausted locally. You haven't reached out to BC. Is there a reason for that? Or you're just leaving it for last? Or
Because they're so far away, I think the distance has been a big problem for a lot of people. But
okay.
I'm kind of finding the sense a lot of them is they're talking between each other. So if he books, I'm going to book, and we'll take a whole row of tables.
Yeah, organically.
So we'll bring a
you need an ambassador.
People
You need a loudmouth schnook out in the West Coast you need a Phil out in the West Coast to get everybody.
Ship you to there, Phil.
Yeah.
Yeah, they call it the herd mentality. Once one domino falls, a bunch more will follow it.
So I have some hopes that.
Carter, remember you called me? You're like, the local LCS won't even go with us whole bit. Was it 2 weeks? He called you? Yeah. Okay, I'll take a table. Yeah. A little FOMO there, eh?
Yeah. I still have some confidence, and we'll get somebody from BC coming out. So.
Oh, for sure. It just hasn't. One domino falls, the rest will.
Yeah.
Do you guys feel at this point there's good, not just vendor awareness, but collector awareness in your area about the show?
I feel like it's starting to get that way. Like we've spent so long marketing the vendor, now it's time to market the consumer, right? So it's going to
Nicely said.
become more and more known as we continue on here. But I feel like we have ran out of like the vendors. Like we need to start finding more vendors and searching for some newer guys. But I also find like these big vendors will book 3 or 4 tables at other shows, but they're hesitant to do it at our show, so they only want one to see how it goes.
That's
So
fair.
That is fair. Yeah, it's a good business call.
Yeah, so you just jumped into probably my next question then, looking for them. Like, what are, your short term? What are your short term now priorities for this? I don't know if I want to say next. We're almost getting close to like the final phase here, boys.
Yeah,
3 months away.
Once summer's over,
short 3
like
months.
once mid August, end of August is, and everyone's starting to think back to school. Hockey season's coming up, preseason. That's when I think the balls to the wall of excitement's going to happen.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think so too. I think that's when it's really got to go hard on the marketing too. Is August, September, October. But I feel like if whatever we have left September or August, I should say, we'll probably fill those tables up.
Oh yeah, go hard in September. October will take care of it. So,
do you guys have a plan for that? Like how your strategy to make sure that you reach all the collectors and create awareness for your show?
Besides posting in the local stores, we were talking about maybe some radio advertisements, focusing maybe on the people that want to see it rather than canvassing the whole city with like billboard ads or something like that. And I think we mentioned talking to other show promoters before that your best dollars are in the social media. Really, it targets people that want to see it that go to other shows.
Oh, I hope you find some
that
of
are
them
collectors.
people.
Yeah.
Are there parades in Saskatoon?
Ooh.
Mm-hmm.
Was there one tomorrow or Monday, Freedom Day, whatever you guys call it? What is it called? Freedom Day?
Canada Day.
Canada Day.
No. I have a reason for that because I spent a number of summers in the Detroit area growing up, and I always remember the Freedom Festival, which was the joint sort of 4th of July Canada Day celebration between Detroit and Windsor. So that's why you get it mixed up.
Gotcha.
Oh yeah, it's Canada Day. Yeah,
You
usually
guys
blow off a lot of fireworks.
You didn't make a float or anything for the parade, or
What's going on?
The Burning Man wasn't ready. That would have been the perfect place for the Burning Man.
You could have been like whipping hockey cards at little kids.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Do you is 620 CKRM your is that just talk radio or is that your sports radio too?
650 is the big one in Saskatchewan.
It is okay. So can you I think radio is really pricey these days, but have you looked into advertising? Because I think that's a great idea, man.
Yeah,
that's like
we did
direct to the consumer, but it's pricey, eh?
It ain't.
Yeah,
cheap.
it is pricey, but like that would be more like 2 weeks out of the event kind of thing.
Yes, yeah, exactly.
Yeah,
that wouldn't be much for you now.
Yeah, so like as of right now, like like this long weekend, you put an ad up at the lake or around a whole bunch of lakes where there's a bunch of people, and then that's where your ad is showing all weekend. So then all those people look at it, and then there's a big outdoor concert all weekend coming up here. Is that next weekend, Justin, or 2 weekends? So then we'll do another post it's called Craven, right? So then there's thousands of people there. So we'll do another post in that area, and
get that logo up. Get that logo up everywhere. Brand recognition,
Yeah. As soon as they see the logo, we want them to think card show and collector show, and yeah.
Can't you talk to your employer or something? Like every third car that goes by, there's a logo on
there. Right?
Just get a spray can, Carter, and go there at night before your shift starts.
Start tagging your own train.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Should get a flag and just fly it.
So is there anything that we had the lottery license, any other sort of logistical surprises or anything like that have come up that you guys have had to deal with?
Not really. We bought some showcases. That's about it. We have 10 for rent now. So that was a pricey purchase there too. I mean, if you buy one at a time, it's not so bad, but we bought 10. So like those are available for rent. And then I think that's about all the biggest purchase was lately.
Have you made any big card purchases, or you guys? Because so Carter and Justin, to the good listener, are avid card collectors. Have you guys eased up on your card collecting, maybe due to finances, or you just want to make more your focus to Louis? I know we know the answer, but the audience doesn't. Back to my question. Have you guys eased up on the card buying, and because you want to put more time and focus on the show, or is everything just full steam ahead with the show and the card buying and collecting?
There's one thing that I bought. I think I showed you guys a while ago that I just couldn't pass up. It was kind of years in the making. I know he had it, and it finally came to fruition. I bought myself a StarQuest Gold Steve Yzerman.
Amazing.
I never thought I would see that card again. Yeah. Being a 90s guy, my hands were shaking when I picked it up. It was incredible.
You're like the 90s guy. Yeah. If I have a 90s
love
question, I'm calling you, Justin.
Then I brought that Gretzky exclusives Star Power too. I was happy to find that. Yeah.
Very nice.
Yeah.
What about you, Carter? Picking anything up lately?
Yeah, I've been picking up a couple inserts, but Draisaitl been coming down. The price is finally back to reality, so I'm still looking for those good deals, you know.
You buying a lot of Skinner these days? Stewie Skins? Load up.
I don't own one Skinner. Not one. I hope that anyway. Yeah.
All right, let's just ask the real question. Is McDavid, is he resigning long term, or I think he's going to do 2 years? That's what I think.
2 years. David is going 8 years to show commitment, but I don't think he does it until they trade for a goalie. That's my prediction.
Okay, fair enough. I rolled my eyes a little bit at you, but then I'll unroll them back. Yeah.
Is that the Evander Kane thing to get rid of him, free up some money to go get a better goalie?
That's what I'm thinking. And then there's talk that they're not even going to trade Skinner because he's only at $2.5 million. So like, how do you replace, like to get another goalie at $2.5 million?
Wait. And then, sorry. Is $2.5 million, is that his goals against or salary?
That's his salary.
Nice.
Sometimes
that would be like 3.
Taste,
his goals against, wasn't it like over 4 in the playoffs? Oh my God. But anyway, yeah, that's what I've been hearing. It's that they're gonna keep Skinner and then get another goalie they're gonna compete for the starting job.
Now, between now and your show, what's going on locally to keep the hobby momentum? I mean, are there smaller shows that will happen like monthly or weekly or anything like that?
Yeah, there's a local mall show here, usually every 4 weeks to 5 weeks.
How many tables are there? Like 50?
Oh,
no,
20. Yeah,
30.
Wow.
Yeah.
There's a whole bunch.
This is going to take everybody by storm, man. This is going to be great.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but that little card show, they get like 500 to 700 people going through that mall there. Like,
well, it's all you guys got.
It's a well show.
That's it. Yeah. And then the next closest one's 2.5 hours away in Regina. So
is that a lot bigger? Calvin is that in the mall too.
A lot closer to me.
In the mall as well. Yeah. And then Calvin, who puts that on, he's coming to our show too. So he's going to help promote it down there as well. So there's another.
Yeah, it was really nice having him on board. Yeah.
Does everybody know everybody kind of in the hobby? Like in Ottawa, I mean, I've been around a while in Ottawa with card collecting. You kind of know everybody, right? Is it the same in Saskatoon? You kind of just.
Yeah.
All these vendors know each other across the country, it feels like.
Yeah, the hobby's pretty small.
It is small, especially in Western Canada here on the prairie.
Yeah, well.
He's like, if you talk to one vendor, they know someone that's already coming to our show. On the prairie provinces. Ontario's a little bit different, but Manitoba, Saskatchewan, Alberta. There's still quite a few out there that we could probably snag or that don't even know about it yet. But for the majority of it, it's like we had 2 guys book here a couple weeks ago. They never met them or talked to them, and they just ended up booking online. And they're like, "Yeah, we heard about your show, and so told us." So
fell in your lap, eh? That's good.
Yeah.
Getting back to the whole, you mentioned a few minutes ago that because there hasn't been a big show, that maybe the territory is untapped a little bit. Are you guys expecting that? Are you expecting some big time heat to show up, but whether it be it at vendors' tables or just people bringing in their cards to try to wheel and deal, maybe stuff that hasn't surfaced in a long time.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I strongly believe that there's going to be a lot of big cards. I think there's going to be a lot of vintage cards coming out of the woodworks as well.
Nice.
Out of the wheat
Some
fields,
older- out of the wheat fields, right? I
Out
mean,
of the
you ever,
barnyards,
you know, yeah, like there is a lot of small towns in this province with a lot of. I mean, there are older
Old
people who live
collectors,
here,
right?
Old fart.
older
Old farts.
collectors, right? Yeah, so like, I mean, a lot of those collections have just been sitting there, and like the more vendors we get coming in that are wanting to buy, we're gonna start advertising that more with the marketing of the consumer. So like, if people want to come in and sell their collection, then we're gonna have vendors that will want to buy it. And I think we're going to see some bangers that way. And then, like, I know some collectors here that aren't on any social media, but they have some heat, that's for sure. So it'll be interesting. We'll see all kinds of cards, like different teams. Or I think original 6 is going to do really good here. So like for the vendors coming, the original 6 teams will do really good. Winnipeg, Edmonton, Calgary. So you have variety.
It'll
Can
be
Phil and I
great.
place
Like,
an order for each a 1910 Frank Patrick?
yeah, that's
I'll
what I'm
take
looking
one.
for. I don't care in the condition as much. A lot of my closest friends in Ottawa, my card friends, one of them has social media. So 3 guys, only one of them has social media, and he doesn't even really post his cards on it. And they have massive collections. Massive. You would never know who they are.
Yeah.
They barely go to card shows. They just kind of like do their thing. I meet them at the card shop. We go out for dinner. We shoot the poop, the whole bit. But their collections are legendary. So I'm hoping that's going to happen at the show. You know?
Yeah.
Well,
there are 100% there will be people there with some big cards.
Yeah.
I think that's one of the biggest hobby misconceptions is that, especially when you're sort of in our shoes, that you think that the whole hobby is on Instagram.
Yeah.
And it's like, do you think it's even like 20% of the hobby or 25%, something?
Love to know.
I didn't have any social media until we started this event. Like I had nothing. So, I mean, like posting.
I didn't know how to
there
use
is,
Instagram before this. Yeah,
I barely do.
Yeah,
man.
like-
I barely do.
Posting on there is like, I mean, it's come a long ways, but like the only way you get better is keep doing it. But like, I had no idea how the social media worked, and I didn't have any of my cards on there. Or like, it's just
I didn't know.
eBay and ComC, and that was it.
Well, it sounds like you're in a good place and a huge milestone. Again, I think we should.
Yeah, that's massive, guys. That's massive. Very
acknowledge that you guys went from a dream and had trying to do something that you've never done before to, with a lot of time to spare, hitting your threshold to officially make this show happen. So that's very, very exciting, because I remember when we first started talking, that you said that if we don't, I don't know if you disclosed the number at the time, but you said if we don't even know we're going to try this, but if we don't sell enough tables, the whole thing might just fold or fail to occur. And so here we are.
I caught your pun, Josh. Well done. Fold the tables. If you don't sell enough tables, they'll fold.
I'm waiting for a Dumb and Dumber quote to come through. I haven't heard one yet.
On that one, yeah.
I'm done.
It's been a stressful ride, but I mean we're almost there. So
yeah,
that's one piece of advice I can. Yeah, that's one piece of advice I can give to anyone wanting to start a card show is like, make sure you can handle the stress. I guess. Yeah, like whatever. I mean, nothing's in your control. Like until you get the vendor, like it's your plan is your plan. You got to make sure that people believe in your vision and people believe in you, and show them you're working hard for them, and the rest will follow.
Yeah.
Well, it's the 3 of us in the top row. We all have we have a plan to sit and laugh at you guys when there's things that are going and you're stressed out and you're running around and walking talkies, doing
Who's
stuff.
the coordinator? Who's coordinating this event? I'm like, that guy right there. His name is Carter, and that one's Justin. Go talk to them. You look very upset, ma'am.
That's how it'll go, except Phil will have like 6 mini donuts in his mouth when he's trying.
Yeah, the dust will just
He'll
be
be,
flying out.
he'll be babysitting my kids too.
Yeah, I'd rather not. I'm done with the kids.
They get along with
I would, Justin. I would.
Yeah. All right, guys. Well, we will check back in a month or so. Again, congratulations. And now you got to get your tickets. Go to saskcardexp.ca.
Yeah. And then, so I like to put out there also, like we have door prizes. We already announced 3 of them. So 3 out of the 18. We have a hobby box of Parker's Champions, a hobby box of Allure, and a hobby box of Skybox Metal Universe Champions so far. So then if you buy 1 ticket, that's an entry into all the draws. So if you buy 10 tickets, you get 10 entries into the draws. So you don't even need to be there to win. If you buy a ticket, then you're automatically entered into the raffle. And then we'll ship
legal.
out the... It's legal.
It will be soon. Yeah.
Yeah, it will be soon.
You should put a singles in there, like a I don't know, Sidney Crosby Young Gun exclusive or something. You know?
Yeah, that's
a little one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, who do you think won that auction of that Ovi autographed?
I don't.
7.
Is it not done yet? Is it?
No.
Oh, you turkey! Get out of here.
All right, guys. Thank you so much, and keep up the good work. We will talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Okay, thanks,
guys.
guys.
See
Yeah.
you soon.
Bye. All right, thanks to the boys for taking the time to fill us in. What a huge milestone. Huh? They've kind of hit that minimum threshold to make the show happen in the month of June. I kind of feel like that they were, like, I was more excited than they were.
They're in the meat. They're in the meat of it, right? They're in the thick of the weeds. So they're the light's at the end of the tunnel. They'll see it soon. But it's ramping up. I'm starting to feel it. After the national, what do we got to look forward to? Saskatoon.
Right.
This sounds glib, but one of my early mentors would tell me all the time, because I remember like being young and hard charging and only wanting to more, you know, sort of the disease of more, right? Bigger, better. And he said, he would always say, you got to take time to smell the roses.
You gotta what now?
Take time to smell the roses.
Oh.
Right, where the whole analogy is, right, the master gardener puts so much time and effort into growing these big, beautiful flowers over months after month, and then they never, but once you have that, you know, you got to actually be intentional about enjoying the fruits of your labor a little bit too. And so, yeah,
I like
it made me think of that.
When I started powerlifting many years ago, I do not anymore at all. Can barely do a push-up. A big thing a lot of mentorship in the gym would tell you was try and enjoy the process, because you're going to wake up one day and you're not going to be where you are. So how's that enjoyable, right? You're comparing your arms, your legs to everybody else. Guy's been working out for 10 years beside me. I just started working out smartly last week. You know, you're working out beside the guy every day. So it is cheesy, but enjoying the process and in everything I do. I'll use videos as an example. When I made that broken collector video, that took me 5 days of filming, and my ankle really hurt. I had a great time. And then when I got home, I love editing. That's my favorite part. I thoroughly enjoy the process. When I render the video and it's posted on YouTube, that's like the least fun part, right?
Wait. Oh, sorry. Hold on.
What?
Hello? Oh, hey, Phil, it's the Canadian government. They want to know where to send your Medal of Honor for making a video with a hurt ankle.
I'm just saying when I finished the video, that was the least fun part of that whole experience. So if you can, whatever your process or mission you're doing, you know, try and enjoy it.
I think we're just creating like a successory posters line right now. There's no I in team. There's
I don't know what any of what you said means. Successory posters?
You don't. Your malls didn't have those stores like back in the 90s and early 2000s with all those like cheeky sort of whether you think you can or you can't, you're right. Sort of.
Oh yeah. At Winner, or do you have Winners down there? Oh, at a lot of
Oh, we have
places,
winners down here.
Yeah, a lot of places where
It's not hot.
soccer moms shop, live, laugh, love,
Oh, Jesus.
all that stuff, and every kitchen.
Yeah.
Is that what you mean?
Dance like nobody's watching, Phil.
Yeah,
You do
that's
that?
what I say.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Okay. We're going to move on to new product releases, which is brought to you by Gongshow friends and partners Mint Inc. Mint Inc. is the premier hobby shop in all of Canada. If you're in the Toronto area, you have to. It's a law, I think. Stop by the hobby shop of the future and check it out. There's a slew of new releases you can pick up in the shop, plus tons and tons of singles. They also offer a full suite of hobby services, from group grading submissions, consignment, memorabilia, toys, a Batman hat that Phil's not allowed to try on, and of course, their breaks after dark. And believe me, he tried to try it on.
I did.
If you're not in the Toronto area, no worries. You can get it all and do it all at mintink.ca. They can ship you your new hobby boxes anywhere in Canada, as Upper Deck has bequeathed them the ability to do so. So get your O-Pee-Chee Platinum or 2425 credentials. You can pre-order right now at mintink.ca. We're going to do something fun that I'm sure you're going to roast me endlessly for, Phil. But
Okay.
Oh, boy.
I ranked the top 5 parallels from O-Pee-Chee Platinum from this year.
Oh, I'm curious to see.
Yep. This is my rankings now. It's not by value. It's not by most rare. I mean, that's kind of dumb, right? Then be golden treasures all the way. But it's what I think are, just on a all things being equal, the cool factor and who's more cool than me, and a better judge of what's cool than me, right? I'm taking your silence as agreement, so thank you for that. Appreciate it. So, Phil, you opened a box of O-Pee-Chee Platinum. Were you impressed with
I
the
loved
product
it.
in it? Okay.
Very happy with this year's product. Yeah, big fan. Looking at it right beside me right now. I liked. I love all the inserts. I'm a big fan of O-Pee-Chee Platinum. I'd even like maybe a few less base cards in the coming years.
Okay.
Keep the same hits and everything. Packs are pretty big, but yeah,
Thick.
big fan of O-Pee-Chee Platinum.
So really, this is about kind of like a ranking of the coolest printing technologies. It's like the Festivus for
Well,
printing.
it's your list. It's not my list. It's not Louis' list.
Oh, I'm sure my list will be your list too. Because
okay, we'll see.
And it's just 24-25. Like, there's been years where certain, we have already referenced the whole Poop Brown episode of the 2022 seismic golds, where other years like 2017, 2018 were fantastic. So, this is just, again, based on 2024-25. And yeah, you guys ready?
Oh yeah.
So we're going to count down from 5 to 1. So you always wanted me to clarify this, and it's good in this case. So
it's important. Yes.
Yeah. Number 1, I think, is the best. For number 5, I'm going with bioluminescence, which is hard to say and impossible to spell, but man, does this card look cool this year. So I see this as part space card and then part planet from the movie Avatar. And I think it's very, very
more alchemy. More
really?
alchemy.
Okay.
Yeah.
We looked up the definition, and we won't again at one point, but I already forgot what bioluminescence. It's something to do with biology. Now, these are short numbered. They're in parallel. They're out of 5. They debuted last year in 23-24. And it's kind of funny. Like, I had kind of assumed when they came out last year that it would be a one and done sort of insert. So I was a little bit like, oh, wow, they brought it back for year 2. I'm a big fan of the design. I think in hand, these must look amazing. And so I have 2 questions about my pick for number 5. Number 1, do you like the design of bioluminescence this year? And should it be a permanent parallel out of 5 in O-Pee-Chee Platinum, in your guys' opinion? Louis, you can start.
You know what? I'm going to be 100% honest with you. I want to see it in hand. The picture, it looks cool. Have you had it in either one of you had one in hand?
No, they're out of 5. So pretty tough to hit one.
Yeah, I don't have one. I'm looking for one.
I think they're cool. I just I don't know. I'm one of those. I want to see it. It looks cool. Okay, we'll go from here. Go from the picture. Yeah, keep them coming. I like
So
them.
you think it should be a permanent, have that out of 5. So you have
Sure.
Orange Checkers out of 15, Emerald Surge out of 10, Bioluminescence out of 5, and then Golden Treasures 101.
Yeah, why not?
Okay.
I mean,
Bill.
I don't mind. I think it's net positive. I would prefer. I'm a big Emerald out of 10 guy. I don't want a card to be better than that unless it's called Golden Treasure. So I would prefer it wasn't out of 5.
Okay.
Yeah. And I
What do
think
you-
I think that the design is nice, but it's nothing to write home about. I like the darker green on the Emerald. It's sharper, it's darker, it's just more present. I find this a little soft for an out of 5 card.
I'm typically not an Emerald Surge guy. And I don't know if it comes down to like color preference, but they just don't really. And I like it because it's out of 10.
I
and I'd
think
be happy
gold.
to-
I think the seismic gold should be out of 10, and the emerald should be out of 50. But I will meet Upper Deck in the middle. I'll accept that color number code. But I like a darker deep forest green, and green's my favorite color. So I can't pick bioluminescence.
I thought yellow was your favorite color.
No, canary yellow. It's a good complement to my favorite color, but no, for dark forest green is my favorite color.
yeah, I had that green Emerald Surge All Stars Crosby from last year's, or I got it in the regular O-Pee-Chee paper box, didn't I, Josh?
I don't remember.
I don't either, but I know I had one, and that's a sick looking card too. So
It's nice. It's better to have it in there than not, I guess.
Mhm.
You know, it's just another card for me to chase now for my player collects. Well
Sure.
done, Upper Deck. Well done.
So number 5 had Bioluminescence, and number 4, I went with Pink Magma, and not just because magma is fun to say. I think this card looks amazing this year, and it's one of the more common ratioed parallels. So it's 1 in 9 packs for hobby for veterans, and 1 in 18 for marquee rookies. Totally gives me the lava lamp vibe. Now, did either of you have a lava lamp at one point?
I did. I burned my hand many times.
How many do you still have in your house?
None at all.
Were you a lava lamp guy at any point, Baba Louie?
I'm trying to think if I had one of my own. I don't know that I did. My parents had 2, a red and a green one on a real, and it was a super sweet one way back in the day, like the 70s,
Nice.
with that metal, had like a copper metal.
Oh, like a legit vintage lava lamp.
Well,
Like
yeah,
a real one. Yeah.
real deal. Yeah. I don't know that I ever had one, but I remember them having those. They were cool.
I went through a phase, like a blacklight poster, Jimi Hendrix poster
Oh,
phase.
yeah.
Lava lamp. Oh yeah.
I had plenty of those in my room. And then the stars on the ceiling.
Oh yeah.
Uh-huh.
What do you guys like? You guys like Pink Magma?
I would prefer the bioluminescence over the pink magma.
Okay.
Yeah. I pulled one of these and I saw the bioluminescence, the new one today at the Ottawa show. Very nice card. I think it does look nicer than this one here.
You're going to get me on every one of these you're going to ask me on. And the problem I have is I love platinum so much that honestly, keep printing them and
More the better.
Yeah, I love them.
Quantity over quality for Louis on this one.
All right. Number 3 is maybe my homer pick, but because I'm such a Seismic Gold fan. But yeah, and I don't know if this is in like the top 10 designs of all time, but it does bring back the sheen and shine that we want. I think all of us in a Seismic Gold, the yellower, the shinier, the bolder, the better when it comes to Seismic Gold. And I think this one's pretty good, right? Maybe it's a top 20, 30%, but that's good enough to be in the top 5 for me.
Yeah, well said. I totally agree with everything you just said. It's not the best one, but it's way better than a lot of them. So,
yeah, this one does nothing to harm the legacy of Seismic Gold. Like, it got a little scary in 2022.
Little suspect.
Yeah.
Sus.
Yeah.
Kids
No,
like
no. I don't like that. Finish the word.
Yeah.
Suspect.
Okay. So that's my top 3. Now, from the top 2, I'm going to get very controversial. You guys ready? Phil, put your helmet on.
Yeah.
I'm going to go 2 parallels that I think are the best looking, coolest, awesomest. from 24-25 Platinum, and they're both from the. You ready for it? The retro set. I know. I know.
Well, it's part of the set, so it's still allowed.
Okay. So number 2, I went with Houndstooth. Love this card.
Oh, you
I'll
like this
admit,
shirt,
I mean,
yeah.
this is like an in-your-face sort of parallel, and there's a lot coming at you. There's colors, there's the repetitive pattern, and sometimes like the Houndstooth parallels get a little muted, but this one has a lot of color to it. Huge fan. I like the retro design this year too, so that helps. Yeah, just the overall card design. So again, this is more Liberace than Pottery Barn. That was a reference for you, Luke.
I'm a big fan of the Houndstooth. If I had to pick one thing, the critique, it's the border. I don't want the border there, and I think the card would look way better without.
So you think it would look better if just the inner background of Sorokin
but then where would you put his name? You'd have to adjust the design. So I don't like things that can show you so quickly they're off center, and that's what my eyes will see quickly. I have a Tim Stutzel Houndstooth with that border, and it's extremely off center, and I'm trying to trade it.
Can I vent for a second?
Yeah.
So I really like this one. I found one on eBay of my boy Krill the Thrill, dollar bill Krill, y'all.
Yeah.
And I want it.
Okay.
Guy's asking $90, and I'm like, is that a fair
Oh.
price for a Kaprizov? Like what, ninth year? No, fourth, fifth year.
Houndstooth out of 15. Out of 15, right?
Yeah. So I go to Card Letter. You've heard of it, Phil, right?
Love it.
Yep, love it. And I find like the last 3 Houndstooths, not from this year, but from any year, have sold for $34, $38, and then $49. But 34 is the most recent or something like that. So I offer the guy who's asking 90, 50. And I explained to him in the message that here's the last 3 sales. I will give you $1 more than any of the last 3 Houndstooth sales. Instantly reject. It wasn't. He like actually. It wasn't like an automatic rejection, but an instant human rejection. And I get it. When you own a card, you can sell it for whatever you want. I'm a libertarian in this regard, and I have no reason to be poopy pants right now about this, but I am because I want it, and I'm butthurt that I didn't get it.
Yeah. You'll get it, Josh. You'll
and I hate when you give people like a rational, reasonable offer and it doesn't satisfy them. But again, it's his card. He has whatever. You can sell a card for whatever you want. And if that's the way a free market works, if you price it too high, nobody will buy it at that price.
Stuff though on those eBay things. It's not like you're at a show. Like I saw a couple of cards today where I was like, "Oh, what's your price point on that?" And the guy goes, "Well, that's actually my PC. I just wanted to kind of show off the card, and if the right price came along, it's one of those things." I don't think a Kaprizov Houndstooth is one of those situations, especially when he's filling it out on eBay. So I don't think you did anything wrong. If there's a card on eBay and you're trying that tactic, I think that's very reasonable because it should usually work, and I think it does. You don't put a card you kind of want to. I don't really want to sell it, but if the right price comes along, I don't think that's a Kaprizov Houndstooth, man. So you didn't do so, you're on the up on that.
Well, either he's hoping somebody will overpay because the set just came out, which is not a poor strategy, or he's delusional about his card price, which many people are.
It's probably part 2.
And I just had to tell myself that, well, there's out of 15, if I pay attention, I'll find one with 6 months from now, I'm sure, for $40, $50, and just be patient and buy it then.
There's a guy at the show that has a Gretzky refractor, 1998 blast from the past, and you're like, "Oh my god, Phil, you didn't buy it." It's the most off-centered one I've ever seen. Okay, he's had it in his showcase for over 2 years at $3,000, and he won't. Like I've talked to, I don't talk to him anymore, but he's just one of those people. Like he doesn't love the card that I'm aware of. He just truly believes it's a $3,000 card. You're not going to get it for anything less. It's not going to budge.
But I think to reiterate, it's okay to be butthurt.
Yes,
I am about the Kaprizov, but you can't be mad at that. There's nothing to be. There's too many people that get mad about things they should never get mad about in this hobby.
Never be mad at hockey cards.
If I have a Liam Foudy base card that I want to sell for $12,000, that's my right. Doesn't mean
but buy it. Listen, you're also I agree with Sylvain. Price bashing is important. If you want to sell your foodie card for $12,000, I will defend your right to do that with arms. I will. I swear to God. I will also defend the right to make fun of you.
Sure.
So, you know what I mean? You got to get ridiculed. You want to sell your foodie card for $12K? I'm ridiculing you a lot, and it's funny. And if you don't like it, too bad. That's how my brain works.
Are you a houndstooth guy, Louis?
Yeah, I like them.
What about this design? Is it too in your face, too much for you, or do you like the glitz and the glam?
Yeah, they really went all out on this one.
Oh yeah,
Inside
this is
and
Liberace.
outside.
That's what I'm telling you.
Yeah. Liberace. Let's settle down there.
I like
it
it.
is.
I do. I like it.
Liberace. It's gonna start playing the piano. It's gonna wink at you.
Sweet.
They
Yeah.
should come out with a parallel called Liberace that just has like the kitchen sink at it, throwing in it.
It can deny what it is till it's dead.
I'm glad you agree with me, Louis.
Well, why wouldn't I?
Thank you. Makes me
funny.
feel good.
I think it's got more to it than the other ones. 23, 24. Meh.
Yeah, they get kind of muted with houndstooth, and you have to be into the sort of the it's got a little bit like kind of like the Louis Vuitton repetitive background thing. So some people might not like that, but I do.
Looks
My
good.
favorite is the horizontal, the 2018 retros, where I bought the OV.
Oh, you got the
houndstooth.
yeah.
Love that card. And I just saw the Golden Treasures 101 of that card design of Ovechkin just sold for like $1,200. Oh, I would have paid more.
I
today
didn't see
for
that
card.
one. Really? You would have overpaid for that one? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I love that design. My number one most favorite parallel from 24-25 O-Pee-Chee Platinum is another retro, Blue Luster. This is amazing.
You like this more than
I
Seismic
love
Gold?
this.
Wow.
The shimmer
Yeah.
in sort of the background colors.
Okay.
Look at that shimmer, Phil.
No, I love that card, but it wouldn't be on the top of my list. No, I'm glad you like it.
No, because you only like things that are valuable. Because you're not a collector, you're just a flipper.
Don't make
You're
me
into
out to
the-
be a snob. I am a card snob, but I like my cheap cards just as much as my expensive.
It's
cards.
an opinion. It's an opinion, right? This is actually California Day. You're just mad because I picked an Austin Matthews, and I didn't pick Matthews to make you angry. It's because this was California Dave's card.
I didn't even notice.
Oh,
I'm blind.
What I like about this card, like again, getting geeky about the printing technology a little bit, is they applied the shimmer to and like kind of made the background cooler than the original one. And the only thing that I don't know about this retro design, like in this case, is that the border's kind of weird. It's like you have like 3 different borders almost. You have the kind of background, like the white border around the picture of the player. Then you have the more card background space. Then you have the black line around it. And then just the teeniest, tiniest card border around that.
Yeah, the black on the sides just distracts me. I wouldn't know how to make it better. I'm not a designer. I have no idea. I find it distracting.
These are out of 100, these Blue Lusters. So these are very achievable if you're for probably most budgets for most players. I'm a big fan. Louis, what do you think of the Blue Luster?
Well, I went online to look at more of them just to see if like the Toronto jersey made the card look better, that color.
Okay.
And no, they're sweet. I thought it was a good choice when I saw you picked it. I like them a lot. The color of the jersey doesn't affect the way the card looks at all. The whole color match thing.
I think overall that this year's Platinum is really good. I mean, these are my favorites, but I don't think you can go wrong with many of them. So I guess my last question to you guys, these are my top 5. So I'll recap really quickly. Number 5, I had Bioluminescence, then Pink Magma, Seismic Gold, Houndstooth at number 2, Liberace, inspired Houndstooth, then Blue Luster at number 1. Are there other parallels that you guys want to shout out? Phil, you open up a box. What are ones that really?
Yeah, I didn't hit them. I didn't hit what I'm gonna say, but I believe it's called the mixed media parallel. Do you know that one? The platinum.
Yeah, that's a
mixed media?
variant to be technical.
So that's that. I can't put that on the list.
No, you can. You can. I'm just saying it's not.
Yeah, I want it on the list. Yeah. So that, and of course, and Cosmic. I'm a huge Cosmic guy, and I'm really into the sunsets. Those are my new.
I think the
ones I like.
sunsets to me that I love the Cosmic too. I feel this year's design's a little muted. Are you a fan? I know you love Cosmic in general, but what's your take on the 2024-25 design?
I haven't seen it yet.
Okay,
I saw it online, but I have to. I'm like Louis. I have to hold it in hand.
I understand that. From what I understand, the mixed media variant kind of combines it's like a mixed media art, right? It's a whole bunch of different things.
Well, I saw one today. And it was amazing.
And so it's a little bit like Cosmic. It's a little. It has
Yeah.
Three. You liked it?
It's a fill card. It was a fill. When I held it, I was like, "This is a fill card." It was Pareko though, or something, or not that he's not a great player. I mean, probably
they're not super rare though, so don't go crazy buying one. I think they're like 1 in 288 packs, and so
rare enough. That's a SSP.
Yeah, no, I'm saying it's rare enough, but it's not like 1 in 2,000 packs where they're gonna guaranteed 6 months from now to be more cheap.
Oh wow, dude, the bioluminescence in this picture does not do the card justice from one I just see online right now. That's sweet.
Oh, you found another one?
Yeah, really.
Yeah,
nice.
I think it's kind of it gives me that Avatar vibe. But is there any other parallels that you've seen, Louis, that you want to throw into the mix, or are we ready to go to mailbag?
No, nothing new. I like this year's Cosmic like Phil, and I really like those mixed media variant ones.
Now you're our orange guy, so do you have a
okay.
review of the orange checkers this year, like how it compares to other years of platinum? Are we ready to?
Is that your favorite color, Louis? Orange?
Yeah.
Oh, really?
This year's orange checkers probably wouldn't be at the top of my list, but I like it nonetheless.
What's Apex orange checkers from all the O-Pee-Chee platinum releases?
What?
What's the best year of orange checkers?
Yes.
2018-19. Just say that. It's the best year.
Well, you're not wrong. I love 28.
That was another Baba Louie Hobby hot take.
Josh just wanted to bust that out.
I was trying to be dumb at first, and I thought he'd hit the button sooner or later. But...
Just trying to be dumb for you. Yeah. All right.
Mailbag. Philip.
Here we go.
Philip.
Hello. Here we go. My term, and the first question's a banger. Put some work into it. Louis is going to show some pictures, so I'm going to go ahead and dictate now. Discord, North Stars fan 23. Can anyone explain Connor McDavid's signature? It looks like a Z with a number 2 next to it and a line drawn in the middle. I can see how you get the old left C out of Marilyn Mew, but I just can't understand McDavid's signature. Well, North Stars fans, I got you, brother.
Wait, can I stop you first? Mm-hmm. It's not Ole Lefse, it's Oli Lefse.
Oli Lefse, yeah.
So Norwegian. I'm part Norwegian. Lefse is our potato crepe.
Oh, okay. I apologize for reading that incorrectly.
You've offended Norway, and I expect
they're fine.
More sincere written letter to the people of Norway apologizing soon. Thank you. Okay, now let's break down the McDavid signature.
All right. So picture number 1. So this is Connor McDavid. I have 2 examples. We're going to go through one of them. So this is Connor McDavid from this year, just a regular parallel gold auto. Okay. So right there we have the number. It looks like we have the letter Z with the number 2 next to it. Okay. So Louis, number 2. So there's the C. So a lot of autographs are just the first letters of the name, right? So Connor McDavid doesn't do Connor McDavid. He does CM97. So I'm going to show you. That's the C. Louis, can you do the next picture? That's the M, and that's not a good M, but I use this one because that's the most common kind of autograph he has. From the first picture we had, can you go back to Louis for his full autograph? Yeah. So that looks weird. but we're breaking it down. So next one, C. Next one, M. Now there's a little loopy in the middle, so it doesn't really look like an M. So I got a second example to start over again. Okay, Louis, next picture. Okay, so there's a big autograph. Okay, Louis, next picture. Okay, sorry. Yeah, so there I shrunk it down a bit more. There we go. So we have it. Let's break this down. Next picture. There's the C. Go back. No, go back to the original. So do you see the C? Okay, Now go forward. There's the C. Now we're going to look at just the M. This looks more like an M. So there now go back to Louis for the full thing. There's the full autograph.
That's actually a really great breakdown. Good job.
Okay.
You're good at this.
I love it. I love it. It's such a unique individual thing, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, big fan. So I hope that helped, man.
Do you know what this is called? Because I looked it up.
Typography?
No, you're a graphologist.
Oh, a graphologist?
When you study signatures.
Well, I'm a hack. Like, it's like a side hobby. Like, I like gynecology, graphologist, hockey cards. Yeah.
Nobody's going to argue the hack part, but you are a graphologist.
All right. Well, I hope that helped, North Stars. Thank you, Louis, for doing those pictures.
I actually want you to do this more.
Oh, wow.
Whoa.
We'll see if
are you a graphologist too, Louis? Do you want to? Are we going to have like dueling graphologists or like dueling banjos?
Dueling banjos.
Workload, man.
Oh. Well, I did the pictures. You had to put them in.
I know.
You had to hit.
All right, here we go.
You made him go forward and then backward. And
that's true. The clicks. I got a finger cramp. We need a break. Okay, here we go. Discord. Next question. Cracking some cards. If you could get rid of one current Upper Deck released product that you feel is boring or irrelevant and bring back a defunct release set, what set would it be? And what would your defunct set? Oh, what set would it be? And what would be your defunct set? Would you drop a lower tier product like MVP or O-Pee-Chee, maybe a mid-level tier release like Upper Deck Ice or Metal Universe, or even an upper tier product like Premier, also known as Ultimate Part 2? Josh, you want to go ahead?
Probably SPX and Ice resonate the least with me, and Black Diamond too. It's hard for me to add Black Diamond to the list because I know how popular it is, and I think Louis, you're going to mention it too. I just don't get it. Like I'm not even saying that judgmentally. I don't understand why people like Black Diamond so much, but I acknowledge that people do. And so I would probably vote to get rid of SPX or Ice. I have a hard time on the whole, like, what defunct set do you bring back? Because I think in general, Upper Deck sunsets sets that for a reason, because they don't sell well, and which means people don't. So I couldn't really even think of one that just jumped out at me as far as like a annual release that they no longer do anymore.
Good answer. Louis?
Well, I would be one to knock Black Diamond off the list because, like Josh said too, I don't get it. It's not for me. I don't like it, but it's popular. And I kind of copied you, Phil. I want to be able to go get a box of Flair Ultra, whatever. Yeah. I want to go rip packs of Flair Ultra.
Yeah, we like our Flair. That's what I picked. Flair, get Flair back in. Not that you have to rejuvenate the set. Just put it on e-pack, but I want to buy it at my LCS too, man. I want to rip a pack of Flair. And I would maybe find a way to drop the price a little bit of O-Pee-Chee Platinum. It is such a beloved set. And it's just getting a little high there, boys. If you could help out with that, that would be... I don't think you need to fix O-Pee-Chee Platinum. It would just be nice to help on the cost a little bit. And now that we're seeing how the sausage is made a little bit more and more, and we can't talk about it too much, I think that could be a possibility that they could do, that could be done. So those are my couple suggestions. All right, good job, boys. All right, next question. Instagram. Chan Man. On your last top 10 5 sales video, you briefly discussed auto grades. It got me thinking about some big Bedard cards recently pulled. The issue I have is that sometimes Bedard puts the 98 at the end of his auto and sometimes he doesn't. So do you think it's fair for a non-numbered auto to get a 10 auto grade knowing that there are superior versions of his auto out there. Alternatively, wouldn't you be a little skeptical if you saw an auto grade 10 on a Crosby or McDavid and they hadn't included their jersey numbers? I'm going to go first on this. I don't think they give grades, especially 10 grades, based on the volume of ink on the card. I think that's a preference. Maybe I'm missing something. If you prefer the number of the jersey on the card by the player doing it, if they did it kind of poorly, I think your chances of getting a bad grade are still there or not. It could be an inscribed on a Future Watch card. And if they wrote a paragraph and the paragraph looks crappy, I don't think it should get a PSA 10 unless I'm missing something. I don't know. Louis, what do you think?
If you guys were hockey players, oh, sorry. I just want to, and would you write your number as part of your signature?
I did.
Like my favorite number, 14? That'd be kind of odd.
No, your jersey number. Like if you actually played for the Ottawa Senators and were number 61, would you write Phillips Marsh 61?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Louis, you would too? Yeah, I would too.
But I would do 14 because that's my hockey number and my favorite number.
Yeah.
All right.
You want my opinion on that?
Yes.
100% agree that I don't think the grade should. There's no standard to say, well, this one he put a number on it and this one he didn't. Whatever they're grading on an auto grade, they're grading how it is.
What's on there?
Yeah. Yeah. What's right in front of you. So
that's why I said
from PSA on to explain to us how autos are graded. Because
maybe I'm missing something. Like maybe he knows something we don't. Like I just didn't, because he's saying things like, wouldn't you be skeptical if you saw an auto grade 10 on a Crosby McDavid that hadn't include their jersey numbers? Or sorry, there are superior versions of his autos. Why is it superior? It's cooler. Some people don't like the jersey number, right? I'm sure they're out there.
Yeah. So when he says superior, that's subjective. And maybe most people.
Okay, we're on the assumption that it's better. Okay, I thought I'm missing.
Yes, we're on the assumption that it's better. But my biggest issue overall with auto grades, just as a thing, is like when you grade a card and it grades a 10 and it's encapsulated, right? Because it's protected in the case, and as long as the case isn't like beat up or cracked or something, you assume that the card condition hasn't changed since the point when it was graded. On an auto, we know they can fade. So if you buy a card that has a PSA 10 auto 10 grade, but that auto has faded 30% over the last 5 years, like there's nothing that PSA can do as part of that auto grade to account for that. The fact that the auto might actually change over time and not be true to the grade that it says on the label anymore. Mm-hmm. That's where I struggle with auto grades, because a card, again, now we can debate, is the card grade accurate or do you agree with it in the first place? But that's irrelevant to this, is that the card condition doesn't change since the grade was applied, where the auto can change after that grade is applied.
Yeah, good point. Yeah, something for them to figure out. All right, next question. Hockey. DT 198. Is there a certain person who comes up with the checklist for Upper Deck, or is it a team of people? Some of the checklists are very redundant year after year and exclude some big names. That means not include, guys. Namely in the Canvas Retired Legend sets. I don't know. I guess they don't have a checklist room. That's my answer. Josh, what do you think, or Louis?
Well,
or do you know?
They got people that make the checklist, but redundant, maybe. I don't think they're excluding people on purpose. Maybe they are. I don't know. Well, I don't know.
They have coordinators, right? Yeah. Those are the people that make the checklist. Mm-hmm. So you have the product managers that build the set, the coordinators come up with the checklist. You have, of course, the card designers. You have the memorabilia people that add or any jerseys or gloves or patches to the card, and then you have the talent people that work with the athletes to get the card signed, right? So that's my general understanding of the division of labor in producing a hockey card. I think though, when you look at the question of like why certain athletes are featured, maybe when others aren't, there's a whole probably sea of very interesting stories and truths behind the curtain that we don't know about. And I think part of it depends on what athletes Upper Deck has agreements with. There's athletes that we brought up like recently on the show, like isn't it Ken Dryden who doesn't want any cards made of him?
Yeah. Yeah.
Right. So that there's personalities and people and contracts that go into this. Maybe there's Upper Deck has done certain studies to know that there might be like, I don't know, maybe I'm just throwing this out there. Sorry to offend any Jeremy Roenick collectors, but maybe Jeremy Roenick cards don't. I mean, if I was Upper Deck, I would be trying to understand like what players resonate the most with people when it comes to legends and feature those maybe over others. So and then maybe it just comes down to the individual bias of a coordinator as well.
Good answers. All right. Next question. Scorpion. Why do O-Pee-Chee Platinum cards bend curve over time? Oh, I didn't. Okay, I answered. I thought he said do O-Pee-Chee. I missed the why. I replied, yes, they do. They're kind of yeah. So I can't help you. I'm sorry. I agree with you, sir. I also have the same question. Josh,
well, every Chromium card does this, so it's
Okay.
not unique to O-Pee-Chee Platinum. Topps Chrome cards bend. Panini Prism cards bend. It's about that Chromium printing technology that it's stronger. Its will to bend is stronger than the paper behind it.
There you go. That's good. So
Confucius
dry
says-
areas, don't keep it in the garage like my blast from the past boxes. They'll brick easily. The humidity gets in there and I don't know, it does something vicious to that. Okay, next question. Monty. Hey boys, considering going to the expo for the very first time this year. You better, Monty. What are your favorite parts about the card shows? Also curious about the types of cards for sale at the expo compared to online auctions. I will the best for me is the friendships and the card collecting and buying. It's the best parts of the expo are everything you think it'll be. And it's my simple answer. Louis, what do you think?
Walking around, hanging out with the boys, the group, looking at the best thing about the expo. I say it every time, but it's seeing stuff that you probably don't normally see.
It's like a museum.
Old, perfect, yeah. So
it's a great analogy, Phil. It is like a museum.
What do you say, Josh?
I'll echo the people are what makes the hobby the best part. And until you don't understand it until you put yourself out there and invest in that part of your hobby experience. I think if you want to compare card prices to online auctions at a trade show, you're going to find booths where their prices are insane and you just kind of roll your eyes or shake your head and move on. But I do think there is more wheeling and dealing that can happen in person at a show than so online. It's easier to negotiate face to face, in my opinion.
Yeah, and it's get out there, get in front of people. Every like Josh, you said earlier today, you messaged a guy and he read it and denied it. It wasn't an automatic decline bid. But I bet you any money, if you were in front of that person, it would have been a more pleasurable experience for both of you, and he might have made some money, and you might have gotten the card. Interactions with humans are so much more digital now. I've got much better deals in person all the time, just talking and just shaking hands and seeing people. Get back out there, Monty. Sounds like you're going to come to the show. You will have a great time. And here's another thing to add on what Josh has said. I talked to a dealer. I don't remember his name, but he was from Saskatchewan in the last expo or the one before. He was repricing all his cards on the Friday because he had his cards priced different for his card shows in the middle of Canada. He had to adjust his prices for a Toronto type show. So sometimes the dealer doesn't know and has to move with the times a little bit, right? So if you're at the show early and you see a dealer with outrageous pricing, but the dealer's very nice, he's listening, he's chatty, maybe he just doesn't know. Maybe he's from a smaller part of Canada or the States where he can get away with higher prices and he doesn't know, right? So always chat up the dealer. I mean, if the guy's being a jerk and he's not budging or whatever, then yeah, move on. But always give someone a chance, because the dealers they're just as human as us. I mean, obviously. All right. Next question. Beard Boss. Hey, boys. Why do you think the Day with the Cup set isn't every individual player? For example, the Vegas one from 2023-24 extended is only 11 players. 2022-23 Colorado was 10 players. I would think Upper Deck would get all 20 or so main roster players. Maybe just a matter of timing or coordinating schedules. This is a Josh question. Sorry, buddy. Yeah, Louis threw his hands up too.
Because I was at the cabin and stuck in traffic all day, Rob, did not have time to verify your specific question, but I can talk in general about these. In doing a ton of flagship checklists, I believe in most years, Upper Deck puts Day with a Cup in multiple flagship releases. So you'll have 10 players in like pre-extended series. You'd have like 10 players in series 1 and 10 players in series 2. So it might be a matter of it's just in a different flagship release for that year where you're looking at a partial set.
All right. If that wasn't a good answer, Beard, just ask again next week. Josh will give you a better answer. All right, next question. Instagram, Ed Lister 82. Have you ever had a hobby meltdown and rethought your whole personal collection and buying habits? Yes, every day. Yeah, you're not alone, Ed. We just take big breaths, go for a walk after dinner with your wife or by yourself. I don't know what's going on. Just breathe it out. Nothing bad can happen if you do nothing. I promise you, that's sound advice. Nothing bad can happen if you take your finger off whatever selling trigger you got there. Just breathe it out, sleep on it a few days. The right answers will come to you. That's my answer.
Maybe Ed needs hobby therapy.
Oh, maybe Ed needs hobby therapy. I'll get my nurse outfit.
Oh, Jesus.
Louis, what do you think?
So you wear it under your clothes at all times in case.
I got it ready right now.
I haven't had a hobby meltdown, but I just did a whole rethought of my whole PC and buying habits. So we'll see. Maybe I'll have a meltdown this time and then start.
You're not really a meltdown person. I don't know if I've ever seen a Louis meltdown.
Yeah, he's pretty even. You both are pretty even keel. Well, Josh,
I'm more of a meltdown. Louis
you get a little
meltdown pretty good when we on the last episode.
Yeah, you get mouth breathy sometimes. Okay, here we go. Next question. Kevin B. Smith. Gents, we have seen player hobby values rise and fall when they are traded or to sign with a new team. Which player's hobby stock do you believe has risen the most these past few weeks? And which player's stock has fallen off the most? I'm going to bow out of this. I do not pay attention to this stuff at all, ever. Louis, what do you think?
Well, I don't know about the up. I'm picking Marner as one that'll be fall because of where he left. Simple as that.
I don't see a Toronto person wanting his car. Like I wouldn't if they traded Tim Stützle. I have no connection to that anymore. You know,
right?
What do you think, Josh?
Yeah, I'll start there. I agree with Louis, and it's not to be Vegas bashing. It's that he leaves from one of the biggest, if not the biggest, hobby market to one of the smaller, and that can't help values. It can only hurt. To what degree, we don't know, but there never has been a super strong hobby chase on Vegas. So if it's going to be Marner, he'll be the first. And so I don't know if I would bank on that. And again, it's like these trades are so much more about the market than the player. And so because of that, probably the biggest is Dobson, where I think between now and before the start of the season, and especially before the Demidov Young Guns hits, that if you had some penny stocks in Dobson cards laying around, that you can cash those in right now, and it'd be a good time to do it. I think once the Demidov market gets into high gear, there won't be enough attention left to get the premium on that Dobson.
It's a good answer. Much better than Louis and mine. All right, next question. Top Mark Sports. How's it going, fellas? Is there a type of parallel card you would bring back to this upcoming season's cards, like the 1995-96 Score Black Ice cards? If they bring this back, I won't be buying them, says Top Mark Sports. Curious to see what your favorites are. Josh, what do you think?
Well, I said Prism, but it can't happen. I don't. Yeah, I mean, there's nothing like all the old like card designs and sets that I want to see back are from companies that don't have the license, like Bauman Chrome, like the Bauman Chrome Golds. Amazing with or Topps Chrome and stuff like that.
Bowman.
Sorry.
All right, Louis, what do you think?
I must have missed this whole question.
Okay. Sorry, Mark. Louis doesn't love you. I do, though.
My bad.
So I'll answer. I would like them. Okay. Well, I mean, mine's very specific, so I'm going to be specific. I would like them to do the same Fanimation as they did in 2019-20 because the city skyline behind the player was awesome. It's the connection of the player to the city, to the hockey card. Grand Slam. It's awesome. I do love so the second year of Fanimation was poopy. It was kind of like everyone had jaundice or something, but the third year was great. The big head stuff kind of like reminded me of Score. Score did it with baseball in 91 and 2019, but that would have been Panini. Anyway, let's get some more Fleer Pro Vision designs going as well. I'd be a really big fan of that.
That they have those in credentials.
Yes, I know. I want more of them.
Do you know why that they won't do that with Fanimation?
No, actually, I don't. Oh, tell me.
Yeah, I think Billy told us at one point.
I don't know.
It might have been before you were regularly on the show. They can't do skylines anymore because so many of the buildings are trademarked by the building.
Oh my God. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Yeah, I don't care. I don't want to talk about this anymore. Okay, next question.
Oh geez. My answer though that I just thought of quickly is I'd like Topps or O-Pee-Chee Chrome type of stuff back.
Okay. Louis does love you, Mark.
Yeah.
All right. IB Wiener has a great question here. 2 questions, maybe. No, just one.
I think you have a vintage Wiener, but
what's that?
I think it's LB Wiener.
Yeah, they both work. All right. If you have a vintage card of a significant player from the 50s to the 70s, like an Orr, a Howe, a Dryden, etc., that you know won't grade particularly high, is there value in getting it authenticated? Josh will have your best answer.
Well, if there's value to you and you want it protected, go for it. I mean, it's very. I mean, there's always value at resale, and a lot of like vintage. The huge trend in the past couple of years, and people are paying big premiums for low grade, high eye appeal. So if it's poopy grade, poopy eye appeal, probably not a lot of value. But there's PSA 1s and 2s that a person can look at and say, how is this not a 5, right? And people will pay a big premium for those. So it just, if it's a strong eye appeal, if the card is centered and the flaws don't take away from the enjoyment of the card, then that's a choice you can make.
Good answer. Second question. Oh, I did have 2 questions. Okay. Maybe not a question for the mailbag. Oh, come on, man. You're killing me here. I said, what is it? But I just purchased a 1953 Parkhurst High Buller for my PC. Any idea what the best one touch would be? Boys?
Go ahead, Josh.
Well, from the thickness, like I know, like if you wanted like a Path or Ultimate holder, they have 32 and 35 point. What I don't know is these are not standard size cards. And so I don't know if they've made like and just like understanding from Pather a little bit and getting a peek behind the curtain, like feel like you talked about on some other issues already. I don't know if it would be ever economical for like makes sense for any company to make a specific holder for a 1953 Parkhurst card. And so, these are tough scenarios where it's, I'm not sure there's another year or company that ever made a card that size.
Aren't they taller?
Not than current. Oh yeah.
I think these ones are the taller ones, aren't they?
Yeah, like an eighth of an inch. That's why in the 19 or in the 24-25 Parker's Champion sets, why the retro cards are in their own unique pack, because they couldn't put them with the standard cards.
Yeah, just cut it. Don't do that. I'm kidding. Do not cut your card.
Trim it, soak it, and then trim it.
Yeah. Soak it and trim it, and then put it in your bicycle wheel spoke, and it makes a cool noise, especially in a slab. Okay, next question. Next question. Instagram. Oh, perfect. Mr. Brinklow. I'm answering first. Can we ban Phil from using the following phrases? Good listener and I'll go first. Asking for a friend. I'll go first. Well, good listener. Nope. Sorry. I'm on a no apologies tour. My two compadres here sometimes hesitate, one way more than the other. So somebody's got to get the machine moving forward, not on pause. I have always.
What was that about?
Wow.
So does it make you feel better when somebody hurts you to hurt us? Is that what?
Yes, that's exact. You're not letting me finish the bit. Yeah, I'm clearly putting myself up by putting you two down. No, the real answer is I've always felt I've had to be a defender of silence, kind of, right? Like I'm nervous if there's silence because other people feel uncomfortable. I'm fine, but I always feel like other people don't do well in silence, so I feel like I have to defend the silence, you know?
Yeah, I don't really care.
I know, I'm very aware I don't have to. It's an innate quality or non-quality in me, you know? I can't be in a room and everyone's just staring at each other. I gotta say something. I have to. So yeah,
I don't mind.
Can I give it? Oh, you go ahead, Louis.
No, I was just say I don't mind silence when I'm trying to think of an answer. It doesn't make me feel uncomfortable. You can wait. It'll be a good answer usually. Just give it a second. Trust me.
Fair. Can I give a serious answer to this?
Yeah.
Okay. We do get suggestions from people, and people are fair to do that, right? Listen, we can take it, and a lot of suggestions are good. We want to hear feedback. And we have listened at times, but what I will say, and I think this is really important for us, is like, I'll give another example that's not you, Phil. The songs, right? Some people hate the songs.
Oh yeah. They can skip ahead. It's okay.
The songs make me happy, and I do them because it gets me excited for the show. But the main point of that is not the reason why. It's that what I'm unwilling to bend on. And I'm willing to bend on a lot of things, but I am unwilling to bend on us being authentically us, for good, bad, or indifferent, for right or wrong, to our benefit and to our expense. Because the minute we try to make this show and have in our head of trying to act and say what we think the audience wants to hear, it will be awful. I know that, right? And so all we can be is us and be our most true and authentic selves. And that's a you know, if you talk like core values, you want to get like real corporate-y on the bit. That is our core value number one, is to be us. And so we can't stop, won't stop. Sorry if that bothers you. I love good listener. I
think he's just playing. I think he's being silly. I don't think.
No, but it is an opportunity though to kind of explain our perspective. And so I wanted to take it.
Yeah, I'll add this. The people that really know me, like Louis and Josh would be one of them, and some of my hometown friends. And I can't explain to you how I love swearing and I love comedy. And Louis and Josh are very similar. We're all different, but similar in a weird way. I can speak for myself here. I hold back a massive amount. I love me and I love my silly brain and say bonkers things. And I'm sorry. I hold back so much, and I feel like I have grown as an individual with a lot better. And I'm only going to get better. Same with Louis, same with Josh. I love comedy. Everything is fair game for me. And I don't say 90% of the things that pop into my head on this show. I really don't. And I don't say 80% of them on Friday nights with Phil. Nothing is off the table for me with comedy. Not cancer, not the color of people's skin, nothing. And we're very respectful on the show, but in behind closed doors, I everything is fair game because it brings light to a reality of people's lives. Nothing, everything is fair game because that's life. Everyone's
probably
gonna die.
explain yourself though a little bit about like I'm trying to do a favor for you here. You're not
What?
a racist person, so when you talk
No,
about
I'm just saying no, but they're stereotypes. Is that a better way? Like stereotypes,
yeah,
like in
stereotypes
general.
is a
I'm
better
sorry,
way
I don't
to-
want to say color. Yeah, I know. See, that's how paranoid. I'm tired of being apprehensive. I'm tired of it. I'm not apologizing about anything anymore. If I upset somebody and hurt their feelings, I will apologize about that. But then that's up to them to fix that. I'm done. I'm done. Yeah, no, I'm sorry. Stereotypes are great. I'm Greek. I had a lot of jokes when I was a kid directed at me, and I thought they were hilarious. And then I'd go home and tell my grandparents, and they would laugh. It's funny, you know. So we hold back a lot, and Josh is right. I want to be as authentic as possible, and I think we're doing a great job. And this is us. This is me. Holding back doesn't mean that's not you.
Well, and then and just to again, because we're very much about honesty here. We hold back for I am a very dark and dirty person.
Yeah. Nobody
weird to
knows.
say
I
that.
know. You all think
I really my sense of humor is like if you 3 times so far today, like you've said something and I've been caught myself laughing on the microphone because what's going on in here is very twisted and it'll never come out my mouth for 2 very specific reasons, and they're both very practical. Right? The first is we know, and we just had I was on, I think your Finance of Phil. We know 10-year-olds listen and watch what we do, and we're all dads. And believe me, I do. I would feel like a big poop head if I said what is going on in the dark and crazy, scary things going on in here, and I know that kids are watching. I don't, I want to be better than that. And then we need sponsors to help make this show work. And if we go off the rails too much, that doesn't make sponsors happy.
Yeah.
And that's just you can call that whatever you want, but that's when you are a content company, which just sounds funny that this is actually a content company, but I guess technically it is.
Dollar Box Ventures, best name ever.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, I love it.
And you make the choice to accept, support from companies, which we need because we're making big investments right now to make the show better, and that money comes from those people. What comes with that is you can't go, you have to be appropriate, and that's there's again, and you have to do it in a way where you maintain your authenticity, and I feel we've worked really hard to do that too, and you maintain your honesty, right? It's not about just being sort of a puppet for every brand, but you also can't, you have to censor yourself a little bit, knowing that boy, I'm sure company X wouldn't want me to tell this dirty joke.
In order to be honest, you have to risk being offensive. There's no other way of getting around it. So I find it very challenging to find the beautiful middle. Both extremes on whatever category you're talking about are always nuts. Finding that beautiful middle ground and communicating to that point is very important to me. And I've struggled in that, and I'm trying to get so much better, and I feel like I am. Same with you guys. We lose our authenticity. There is no show. There's I'm out.
No.
I am so out.
There's a part of me too, and it pains me to say this because whoever wants to admit their dad is right, first of all, and because I'm sorry, Dad, if you're listening, that I said that, but but he is kind of right. Anytime I would go off the rails at him about F this, blah blah blah, this word, that word. He always in a very daddy way would say, talking like that, you're just demonstrating the inability to effectively articulate your thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
And I think there is a little bit true to that. As much as I do like to curse and stuff like that, is it sometimes is it necessary? Does it add to the conversation, or does it take away from the point you're trying to make? And I think that is the, and this is me counseling myself for a second, that sometimes by using language that is going to turn people off, you can actually it makes your message less effective because it won't reach as many people, won't comprehend it, or they won't soak it in. They'll just be too busy not liking your word choice. So it's why take that, what's the goal Is the goal to communicate something, or is it to, just like pop off whatever dirty word comes into my head?
See, that's a slippery slope for me though, too. Like I agree with everything you said, but imagine missing a very important message from somebody because you're a little bit appalled they were swearing. That like what? You can't handle that? Now I'm just playing devil's advocate.
Maybe
I'm
you're
playing
using
devil's
appalled,
advocate.
and it can be more distracting though, right?
Okay,
Too.
fair
Is
enough.
that there's degrees to that, and
There's levels and there's always outliers. But to me, what's that quote? It's easier to build resilient children than repair broken men. Like I love that quote. So imagine not being able to get a good message because you heard the guy said the F word one too many times that you didn't like it. Now I agree with you that it might be distracting. If you're not used to that word a lot, it might upset you and you might lose sight of the message. But I think the importance is the message, right?
yeah, I guess I'm trying to like be less, but like be like my truest, like darkest self in front of people where I know that that aren't going to judge me for that, right? That know who I
Yeah.
am, know
Yeah.
that it's part of my kind of like weird personality, but more publicly. And I'm not just talking about on a podcast. I'm talking about in my life, be more measured and more strategic about how I talk about things, where
Yeah.
and not kind of like going unhinged or unfiltered,
Mhm.
where it like I don't know. I mean, we're going
That's
on
for
and
us
on.
though. No. That's for us. Like when we have a bad day at work or something, I don't want to get on a podcast and vent and for 10 minutes. I call you or Louis.
Yeah.
That's what buddies are for. We're all human, man. You can't get away from the human experience. If we didn't have emotions and feelings, we'd be flying in spaceships from planets to planets. And that's what's limiting us is all our feelings and emotions. I mean, that's the only thing. So you're allowed to be upset. I told Cole, my son, you're allowed 5 minutes to vent about a bad shift at work. I'll even let you get to 10 some, but that's it. You don't ruminate to the next day or it's just work, you know?
You know what
And
else I
I,
do? Like I'm really trying to work on, like and this is not like a curse word, but it's kind of related. Is when I get frustrated, especially like here in my house, like this is like feedback that I get from
yeah,
the family.
yeah.
Is I tend to like get like I get aggressive in how I talk about things, like
Like you
you
step
know,
up. Like, would you say Jenny? And you like step up to her.
no, it's no, not like threatening, and it's just more like maybe I'm like harsh in how I present things, and I'm trying to be softer
Mm,
in that regard, right? And not make everything seem like bigger than it is, right?
yeah.
Maybe like I'm frustrated because you left like my one of the things that like completely drives me nuts is when I like have to go into the back seat of my car, occasionally to put like a package there or something that it can't be in the front, and there's drink bottles on the
Oh,
floor and
dad's mad. Dad's
food
mad.
wrappers, right? It's
Yeah.
like I tend to, it's like I'm trying to find like what's the middle ground to explain to people that um that I that I really hate that and it bothers me without it coming off to them like it's like some
You're
like
super
huge
angry or
crime
like,
against humanity.
yeah, when Cole takes the truck, I go in and it smells like Febreze and it's shiny. So maybe Cole can talk to Sam. I have the best egg. I have the best egg in my house. He's great. He won't hug me. He's a robot, but he's trained properly.
When one of the kind of benefits of doing this show, and Louis, I want to get your thoughts in a second, is that, and I actually think this is a benefit, and I enjoy stuff like this, is it does make you really think about how you present yourself and topics and how you communicate with the world and what style of communicator you want to be.
Yeah.
Where why would have I ever even thought about this stuff before?
I love it. I love this question. I love Mr. Brinklow's question. Whether he's being serious, I think he's kind of being silly. Whether you're not being silly, it doesn't bother me at all. And we got to be authentic to ourselves. What do you think, Louis? After Josh and I just took everything,
Louis was ready to move on about 45 minutes ago.
Louis like, I have 50 edits to make now. Thank you. I don't edit nothing. It's all good. Anyone gets upset at anything. I mean, that's fun. Maybe the show's not for you then. I don't know. It's very
No,
PG.
it'll allow us to do real talk. I like real talk.
I love real talk.
I'm kind of just lost where we're going with this, to be honest.
Yeah, okay, we'll move on.
We can move on. Yeah, let's move
Hockey
on. There
card.
we go. Hockey cards, Instagram, puckin' cards. What's your go-to way to store display your favorite cards? Are you team binder, one touch, or do you have a shrine in the living room? Oh, I like this. And have you come across on any new display or storage products lately that got you genuinely excited to reorganize the collection? I feel like I've been talking a long time. Louis, can you go ahead?
Yeah, Louis, your turn.
Well, I have cards and everything you just brought up. Binders, one touches. Don't have a shrine. I have cards out. I have cards framed that aren't on the wall for whatever reason. Don't ask. Haven't gotten around to it. I'm just probably because I don't know exactly where I want to put them, and I don't want to move stuff around 1,000 times. So, yeah, really, that's about it. I want more stuff out, but it has to be a certain way. So I'll sit here and
you need projects. We talked about this last.
We did. I'm trying not to repeat what we said last time.
Louis is task oriented.
No, but you're really good. Like you need to build a set and then come up with a unique way to display it and create a whole thing about it. And you're good at that. So you should do more of that.
I'll try.
Try harder.
Okay.
Josh, what do you think?
I appreciate the question. Let's talk about emotions for 30 minutes. No,
No.
No, we're done. I am pretty much team ultimate holder and top loader binder gang. And I have no organization or displaying abilities, and I need to come up with the set and then have Louis make me a display because he's good at that.
I can.
I don't display cards. I used to own a home. I rent now. So a personal rule for me is I 50% of my home is still in boxes. So I don't want to display any of my cards. I don't want to get comfortable where I live. So I do not display any of my cards actually. And it's top loader binders for now and ultimate holders for my one touches, or ultimate holders for my ultimate holders. You know what I mean? And yeah, that's how.
So is that because like you feel that you don't want renting to feel permanent in your mind?
Correct.
Temporary?
Yeah, I don't want to get fat and portly and comfortable, and then the barbarians are attacking at my gate. Nope. Can't get comfy yet. All right, next question. Discord, Dwayne East Coast 76. Maybe I should stop saying that. Maybe he doesn't want me to say his name. I'm sorry, Dwayne. Crap.
East you give his social security number too?
Yeah, I know. I need your shoe size. Yeah. Okay. Question for Josh. Can you do your best to explain the definition and nuances between brands, sets, subsets, inserts, parallels, and variants?
Sounds like a show topic.
Yeah.
Yes, Josh. Can you please explain all of
in
these
30
things?
seconds or less? Brands are companies that produce cards. Products are individual sets that come out, like Series 1, Series 2. Then subsets exist within that, would be like Young Guns or Day with the Cup or Dazzlers. And then a parallel is a different variation of a specific card within a set. A variant is a unique, usually like a different image of a player. So like it would be like the black and white variant or something that is different. But where I think this question gets most confusing, and I'll admit I don't even know if I have a solid understanding, maybe you guys do, is the whole like sets and subsets gets a little confusing to me. Like you'll call 24-25 O-Pee-Chee Platinum set, right?
Mm-hmm.
But then you'll also call the Marquee Rookies a set. But then
it's a subset.
Is it?
I don't know.
It's a set. I think that there's like multiple uses for. I don't know.
Well, it's part of it. So a regular base card of platinum. So I got Draisaitl here, or
that's part of the base set.
I understand that, but then if Marquee Rookies is a different set, why is it $299 out of the full set?
Because it's not a different set.
Oh, and that's another thing too. Like, and you'll see this on the checklist site. Like we'll typically break like set types is what we call them for the checklist. So you have your base set, autographs, memorabilia, inserts, buybacks, updates, right? Those are set types. And then you have sets that live within those. So in the base set, you would have base veterans, legends, rookies, and and then your variant cards. And then within each of those subsets, I don't know what we call those sets again, probably, then you have like parallels within those.
Maybe that's Upper Deck could answer that because they're very specific on terminology, right? Maybe we can use their verbiage. Like,
yeah, and it's kind
like
of embarrassing that I don't know.
We call sticker autos. What do they call them? Tickets. What did Paso or God? What do I call them? That
labels.
What are labels? Yeah, they call sticker autos labels. Like it's nothing. Like a label is a sticker.
Well, you know why, right? Because they're just signing address labels.
Yeah,
that's what they are.
But it's nice to know what the terminology, the lingo they're using, because then we should adopt it. And yeah. All right. Good answer. Very brief answer.
We'll do a thing on it.
Okay.
I think it's good.
There you go, East Coast. Instagram, Comav cards. Commemorative Avenue cards, maybe? I don't know. Thoughts on new Playmakers Easter eggs from extended series? I think we can all say it at the same time. Amazing.
Love it.
Love it.
Yeah. Are they drawn? They're drawn, right? Or it's kind of like a Pixar pictured digitized thing? They're wicked though.
It's artistically altered.
They're great. I'm a huge fan. They're adorable. They're awesome. Oh. All right. Next question. Huge fan of the show. Ryan Moss. What was one card that you absolutely had to own, but once you saw it in hand, you were disappointed in how it looked? Louis? Or you want me to go first because you agree with me?
Yeah, and then I'll follow up on how.
Great question, Ryan. It immediately goes to one situation because I'm a big Jake Sanderson fan. So it's 2022-23 Seismic Gold. I don't consider it very gold seismic-y. It's more of a trivial brown. So that very much upset me. I'm not a fan of trivial brown. I like wood paneling brown, but not trivial brown.
I thought we call it poo brown.
Whatever.
Trying to be mature.
Yeah.
Thank you.
My turn or what?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, mine. I picked the exact same one because I wanted the Nico Heischer Seismic Gold in that year, and
good call.
Somebody I know had Seismic Gold sent to me, so I got to hold one in hand. And immediately I was like, yeah, no.
Yeah.
I have an answer for this because I didn't at first, but since you guys are talking, it completely clicked with me. I love, and Phil, you're getting on board in a hurry. 2021 Fleer Ultra medallions.
Oh yeah.
The cards are amazing. When I saw that 2022-23 Fleer Ultra was coming out, I was like, yes, new medallions. Can't do it.
Yeah.
I can't do the below the knee cutoff thing on all the players. And they did that with the year PMGs too. I think maybe it was 2022 as well, the PMGs. I'm just so out on those. And so that's like, to me, a card that I want all of the 2021 Fleer Ultra medallions and none of the 2022.
Okay. Next question.
Good answer.
Good answer. Second last question. Rink bounty cards. I'm going to a Stankoven signing at a ball game. I've got some young guns and other cards of his, but I really have no idea what kind of pen to bring. Are there certain ones in your guys' experience that work or hold up better? Paint pens, Sharpie. Thanks, fellas. Love the show. Love what you're doing for the hobby and its community. I mean this from the bottom of my heart, man. Thank you for saying that. Also, Phil. Oh, I forgot about this. Love that you're always unapologetically you, especially when you tell stories about your hot sisters. You're great.
Might have been some editing on that question.
Oh, you did? Oh, I actually thought he did it.
No, I added the last part.
You added the also?
Oh.
Yeah, after especially to, yeah, that was.
Oh, okay. So he still complimented me. Okay, well, I thank you. Well, I don't know. It's hard to tell. You're funny, Josh. Okay, well, I'm going to go ahead and answer. Yes, the old question of what ink should I use? Shall it be iron gall and a feather, or shall I use the mighty Sharpie? I don't know, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's a Neil question, and it's a Neil question. And thank you for being a fan of unapologetically me. I appreciate that. Thank you. Boys, do you have a question about the pen?
Just say you were wrong once. Just say you were wrong.
Wrong about what?
Just say
I
it.
would use.
I was
I'm not.
wrong. Just
I
say
was
you're
wrong.
wrong. Yeah. Okay.
Oh yeah, you're not you will admit you're wrong.
No, you will.
Oh, all the time. Yeah. But I get upset. I understand what he's saying. It's when I'm like the feelings police people, right? Like it's those people. Yeah.
But if we ever need to say it for Phil, or it's right here.
I was wrong. I have never had a problem saying I'm wrong. Never.
No, you don't.
Never.
You do not.
This is a great opportunity to pump our own Discord exclusive show, Behind the Bench with Neil IFC. He did a whole episode on this. And if you can't afford or don't want to be in our Discord, I totally understand that. And so I'll give you kind of the key takeaway. I mean, he did like an hour on this, and it's all great information. But it's go buy like the cheapest player, the guy nobody's heard of the card, the Young Guns year you want, and get some Sharpies and do some trial and error. I mean, you got to be willing to put in the work to get the outcome you're looking for.
Could you bring? I bet you could bring a card. We have staples up here in Canada. What do you have? Kinko's or something? What do you have for like a? Yeah, okay. You could bring your cards there because you can already use their examples. You don't even have to buy everyone. You could just go do it. Yeah, don't use their scratch pad. Use your cards. And if they ask you for help, well, no one. They're retail. No one's walking around asking if you want help anymore. Those days are long gone. Okay. All right. Next question. Slap shot Mike. Last question. I have a question and apologize for my English in advance. Why is true RPA considered more valuable than, let's say, a limited logos of rookies? RPA says worn by player, which might as well mean he wore it while he was sitting on the can, on the toilet. But limited logos say game worn. Would that not be more valuable in the eyes of collectors? Thank you, and I love the show. I'm going to go first. Welcome to the hobby, Mike, where nothing makes sense. I don't know. Maybe my two compadres here can answer better, but I've also noticed that, and no rhyme or reason for me.
Well, very good English. No need to apologize for that.
Yeah, no problem. You hear us talk? We're useless.
I don't know the answer to this, and you'd have to. I think this is one of those where you could have 10 hobby historian type people on, and you might get this slightly versions of the answer, but it goes back to the roots of a base set. And so true RPAs are the rookie of the base set. That's the definition of what that, and the limited logos is an insert. And that's why it's not considered a true rookie, as in your example here, Mike. Why is that more important? And maybe it has to go to back to the roots, and like that's how hockey cards or sports cards were always collected. I don't know. And I agree with you, and I'm sensing more and more people kind of going to the like. I'll be the first to admit, when it comes to even like a McDavid Cup RPA, I would have a really hard time spending upwards maybe of $100,000 on a great patch, knowing that there's really not much authentic about or meaningful about that piece of material, that where so much of the value is coming from. And so now, is that in a hobby that's 100% perceptive value anyways, is that a distinction without a difference? I don't know. It just seems to be, to me,
carries less weight of value in your mind, right?
Yeah. And so like our friend Jeremy Lee has talked a lot about how that's why he collects second year patches, because they're game used. And again, I know I say this all the time, but when we talk about this, or when I think about it, it blows my mind that so many of the second year game worn patch cards are actually jerseys from the player's rookie year. And if we think about it, makes sense logistically, because they source the material from the year prior. But so we have, it kind of leads us to a hobby where we have these big rookie cards that are player worn or event worn jerseys, and they're incredibly valuable. And then we have second year cards where the value is a tenth of that, and they're actually game worn jerseys from the rookie year, but they just don't say it on the card, so nobody really knows that.
Yeah, I'm not chasing after Heischer's RPA. The second year one, that gold out of 8, I got completely satisfied with it for the price.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good question, Mike. It's a good question.
Mm-hmm.
Are you out of
All
steam,
right.
Phil, or do you got an answer?
Oh, no, I already answered him. I said, welcome
you
to the
did.
hobby. Yeah. I don't have no rhyme or reason, brother. You like it? Buy it. Yeah, I don't. And I'm not big on the. I am big on game used patches, but I have so many cards that are just player worn. I've lost that drive. It's not a hill I want to die on anymore. I'm really into my inserts now, and maybe Mike's more into the patch phase of his collecting, which is great. You know.
Sure.
All right.
Personal Pickups is brought to you by Gongshow partner Pather. All of our PC cards are now safely stored in Pather Ultimate holders. The superior acrylic-based protector. Acrylic is way better than your grandma's plastic one-touches, Phil.
Yeah.
Tell grandma.
Listen, I want people to start. People said they're going to order them from the website. I want us to start sending us pictures of them because I'm not being. They're that much better. And if you ordered them and you got them, you're completely agreeing with me right now.
Well, and if you're not familiar, acrylic is way better because it is scratch resistant, crystal clear. Like we talked about how like the difference of a CGC slab, like you can sense the clarity of it. It's the same thing with the Pather Ultimate holder. And then it offers UV protection to keep your cards and autos from fading. So that's all great things. They have a ton of size options. You can buy singles, 5-packs, 10-packs, 30-packs to get the exact quantity you need. So in the US, make sure you go to shoppather, PATHER.com, or in Canada, shoppather.ca. Philip.
Yes. Oh, you want me to go first?
Show and tell. Yeah. Show and tell.
Yeah. My big banger.
Okay, hold on.
You got it, buddy. Lots of. Yeah. My first Tim Hortons card in my PC. Got this big boy. I traded my Kaprizov autograph I pulled in O-Pee-Chee Platinum for it.
Attaboy.
Yeah. So it was great. I was really happy. And
I don't understand the whole Timbits card in Tim Hortons. So can you explain that to me?
Well, Timbits are little hockey players. They're little guys. Yeah. So like you have a big donut, but if you want a smaller donut, you get a little Timbit. So I'm an
adult. The Timbits cards are like Nathan McKinnon when he was like in like
that's a junior card. That's a junior Canadian jersey.
Oh.
Yeah, and he's wearing the cage, right? So that's an under 18. And he's Sidney Crosby's a little Timbit in this. He's not, but
Timbits are our donut holes, Josh.
Yeah, I know what the food product is. I just didn't know the card, what the because
it's implying like senior, junior. So like there's a little Timbit out there. Look at the little Timbits.
Yeah. Now, was the value about the same? Are Timbits typically? Like,
I didn't look. I have no idea. He had $100 price tag on it. I said, "Hey, you want to trade this?"
Okay.
Yeah. Sweet. Super happy.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Does that go in the top loader binder?
Right now it's in my ultimate hold. You know what's funny? I bought it and it was in the ultimate holder. I was like, hey, not bad. Yeah. So he must have listened. No, he didn't, but it was great. It was already in it. But that'll be going in my top loader holder. Yes. Or my binder.
Okay. Yeah. Okay, great. Baba Louie?
Not a hockey card, but you want to see it? You don't have to.
I want to see a card. When you say it, just make sure. Yeah. I want to see a card.
What? Okay.
Yeah.
I picked up a 25 Tops Now, Lewis Hamilton. It was the first card out with him in his Ferrari garb. And then I tell you what, I saw some more. Holy cow, maybe should have gotten to Fanatics Fest. They had some fancy ones of his cards out of minimal numbers, and people are selling them for goofy amounts of money.
Did you just get a single, or did you buy a pack trying to get one of the parallels?
No, I just bought the card.
Oh, you bought it off of, so you didn't buy it on Tops Now.
No, I got it I had it a while. Maybe I got it a week ago. I just didn't know if I don't have any more. I got one more hockey card coming, and then I told you I'm doing what I can. I'm seriously going to try not to buy any cards till the X-Star tells the National. I might not even buy one there, but at the National or Saskatoon, it's just too easy to grab stuff online.
Do the pit crews? Pit bosses, I'm watching too much mafia movies. Do the pit crews have their own cards like Team Hamilton?
The Oh, geez.
Rear right tire guy.
No. No.
You got a problem against rear right tire guy? He's got a family.
I think the left you need a little more dexterity. So
Team bosses have a card. Yes.
Okay, cool. Thank you. Yeah, Josh.
okay, I got one card in the past week. It's a 2000 Pacific private stock titanium Yarmir Yager premiere date. They're out of 195. It's kind of a refracting rainbow foiling kind of card.
They're actually at a
Like
185.
Oh, 185. I'm sorry.
You collect Jaeger?
Oh, I love Jaeger.
Oh, wow.
Yager. I
Wow,
don't
wow.
collect Jaeger. I collect Yager. Stop
Yeah,
that.
we're a Yager guy. They can bring these cards back too.
Oh, these are nice. You don't love them, huh?
No, I'm okay.
Really?
No, actually, I am not gonna lie. I don't like. I'm not a big titanium guy.
Ooh, I'm a big one, so I'll take all your titanium.
I like the megalodons. They're pretty cool, but
Okay. That's our show. I didn't think this was going to be a long one, but
That wasn't supposed to be. And holy crap, is it going to be?
oh, way too long. We apologize. Just skip ahead. Skip ahead of the talking.
like 4-hour show. It's like
Mhm.
our longest
Skip ahead of
ever.
the talking. It
What
wasn't
happened?
supposed to be.
All right. If you like the episode, please leave a rating and review on Apple, Spotify, whatever podcast app you listen
You
to us
edit
on.
that up? What did we talk
If you
about?
love
Oh my
the show,
God.
you want to support us. We went on to like one mailbag question for like an hour.
Yeah, I know.
I'm going to have to
You wanna
have
support us?
subsets of topics.
What?
I'm going to have subsets in the game plan now.
So, okay. I'm trying to wrap this up, boys.
Oh,
Yeah, support us if you want. It's $5 a month. Join our $2.99 support level tier on Patreon. Link is in the show description, in our Instagram, TikTok profile, on our website, hockeycardsgongshow.com. On Patreon's website, patreon.com. Search for us, Hockey Cards Gongshow. We can follow us on social media. We're cool. We're on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, Twitter, and YouTube. And boys, the Hockey Cards Gongshow podcast is a production of Dollar Box Ventures LLC. Baba Louie, end this marathon and take us out, please.
Yes.
adios.
I can't find the song.
Louis will put it in after.
I don't have it.
This is like we're stuck in
here we go.
a loop
Gongshow,
here.
we're dropping the facts. Hockey cards on fire, no holding us back. Josh looking sharp, the face of the scene. Feeling pork chop pants, rocking it clean. Baba Louie in the booth, he's the man with the plan. The best producer in all the land. Gong Show Nation, let's hit the flow. It's the Hockey Cards Gong Show. Let's go, let's go. Wanna say them in the show.
Amen, brother.